How are you guys doing today? We are on day 5, I think. 5, right, Kevin?
Live on five. Here we
Live,
are, Blue Jays.
live on 5. I like that.
Yeah, this early in the morning. Can you rhyme like that? I can.
Yeah, apparently you can. You're awesome.
Thanks, man. Play the rap music for me, because I'm clearly. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wait, hold on. You said
Hip
the
hop.
rap music. Okay, I gave you disco there.
Oh, oh, okay. Well, that's all right. Good morning, Blue Jays. How you doing?
Doing well today. Just having some tea
Yeah.
to get woken up this morning. We're here for the for the Asian crowd. Who do we got coming on?
First up, Amsterdam. Actually, yeah, going straight to Europe to
Oh,
start
okay.
off the show. Yeah, and they are coming in just a couple of minutes here, Blue Jays. What are your thoughts on what you've? Well, I mean, I guess we need to learn what's going on, right? We just got up on our end.
I took a look at some stuff going on the Telegram. It looks like people are getting ready to do some testing for security stuff. Hopefully, we can get some more information from maybe EOS Amsterdam.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's what has it been, about 9 hours since we were off air? How much could have changed, do you think? Pretty much everything?
Well, considering that people are working around the clock all over the world, yeah, there's a lot that can change.
Yeah, I agree. And then for those who are not with us yesterday, we did 2 streams, and then we're doing 2 streams again today. Oh, well, there's Rhett. Came in quick. Hey, Rhett, how you doing? Welcome. You mean up? There he is. Yep.
Hey, Rhett.
I'm there.
Hey, we were just talking about how we, in our time, we just got up, so we're wondering what's been going on all night for us.
Yeah, well, it's 1 o'clock here, so
Uh-huh.
we've been going on for one whole morning, and I was just debating with Jets what's going on in the constitution groups, and I've been on the hour. 1 hour and 70 minutes online with Boy this morning because I had a battery low on my ears, and it's typically 1 hour and 15 minutes so that long was the call this morning about everything that went on in the infrastructure. What I learned from Boy is that it's pretty slow now. Everybody's working his ass off to get the dots on the I, so get everything up and running, check everything, do all kinds of tests. The channels between the Telegram channels between the block producers are very quiet. The people that we know that were loud in the beginning, in a good sense. EOS Canada is pretty quiet. Everybody's very quiet on and just getting the infrastructure up and running. One new initiative is that there's been an agreement in place to allow pen testing to be done on your infrastructure. So we signed up for that. I have, as you know, a security outsourcing company. We did pen testing in the past, but right now we don't do that anymore because we like to run the operation and have others test us. So that is something that's going on. Maybe, Boy, you can elaborate a bit more. We put our name on a list to be tested.
Yeah, there was a nice surprise this morning. Hi everybody. By the way, hi Kevin, hi Blue Jay.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we got a let's say a spreadsheet where, let's say, the different block producers will start penetration. They do some penetration tests on each other, which is very interesting because it's also very important that, let's say, our infrastructure are secure. So we added ourselves quickly on the list because we're ready to be checked in that sense. And if we encounter anything we overlooked, then of course we want to know as fast as possible. So again, we're working very hard as block producers to just on all levels get essentially a secure network up and running at the moment. It's also what Red said. It's pretty quiet on the channels. Just as EOS Amsterdam, probably everybody is working very hard also to get their infrastructure, let's say all the last details up and running. there is some strong coordination on validation and the process of validation. Let's say in an hour, so after this call, let's say at 2 o'clock, let's say 1300 UTC, there is a shared call with on the security topic. So all the block producers together are gonna discuss how they secure themselves and how to test each other on different vulnerabilities. So a lot of sharing is going on at the moment, and will in the future. So yeah, we're say getting ready to support the network. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bluejays.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's pretty exciting. It looks like baby steps every day, every 8 hours. There's some kind of progress being made that is getting closer and closer. So be patient out there, everybody who's listening.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also nice to know that it's the same as a little bit exercising a muscle, right? So you have to, let's say, have a lot of different situations and scenarios you have to run through, and you have to rehearse this many times to really get an idea, essentially, of what to approach. And I believe that I'm really confident and getting more and more confident if I see how what kind of team of block producers we are operating in, and how fast things are resolved, and how efficient essentially this coordination works. So this is I never experienced this before. You know how well we are incentivized to really have a very strong and solid chain. So it's really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, EOS Canada.
Remember, it's all independent companies, so and individuals. So it's really amazing. Everything you see, it's a lot to digest. The the Telegram channels are almost impossible to follow. So much information is, and you put a lot of videos out there. It's almost impossible to watch everything and see everything.
Yeah, and also I was thinking this morning, because there's of course this idea like with the Linux kernel, right? And if you start calculating the economic value of the Linux operating system, that would be just amazing. If you know how many different people have put hours in it. If you do, let's say, a small calculation of how many block producers are now working on it with their teams, if you would calculate this per hour, you would have, let's say, an amazing economic value right now, let's say, and an amazing amount of attention to detail. And so, for example, take only the validation process. Let's say maybe 60 or 100 professionals are looking at it, right, in detail, just controlling, let's say, controlling each other's work, verifying each other's work. So essentially, if you would run this in a traditional company, it wouldn't even be possible, right? Especially not because there's so many approaches and so many views coming together.
That's a good point. I mean, in a project in a traditional company, I wonder how the project manager would be handling this, right?
It would probably get crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Jetse, what have you seen from the Constitution end?
Well, I just wrote a little something for the Telegram discussion regarding Article 1, which in my view should summon up or give some guidance to the way we should interact in a community. I feel there's a lot of work to do on the Constitution, as I told you yesterday as well, and I'm prepared to put a lot of effort in it in order to try and help and use my knowledge of writing this sort of stuff to make it better. What I've seen gives guidelines, but they need to be a bit more precise. That there are some difficulties that I believe can easily be avoided if you draft the language better. So, I'm just doing proposals. My point is that I'm not sure where the discussion is actually taking place. I post in the Telegram group, but there's like 1 million posts in there. So I don't know who's following that discussion, and I don't know where it lands. I don't know who's actually drafting into the version. So, basically at this point, I'm trying to find out where to go to.
Yeah, it's in keeping up with the Telegram channels, of course, alone. That's, as Rhett was saying, almost impossible at this point.
Yeah.
what do you foresee the referendum process looking like in the 90 days after the chain is up?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if the chain should go up before or after the constitution is ready. If it is a kind of contract, and a lot of people are stepping in and put a lot of effort in everything, and now they start working in a if there's no constitution yet, it's like a legal void, right? So it's just the code doing its work, and next to that, there's no way, there's no predictability. We don't know what's going to happen. So, but maybe, you know, I'm a lawyer, and that's maybe that this is normal to the other guys, and you know, you live in circumstances like that, basically. But in my experience, or in my life, my being a lawyer, it's normal to have the rules first, and then start whatever you're doing. So, well, let's wait and see. You know, I'm going to put in everything I can to try and make something line workable that meets the basic assets of a constitution. And you know, if we start without it, let's see what happens. I don't know, but it feels pretty awkward.
Sure. Yeah. And of course, we've mentioned this before too. There's no actual tools to arrive at consent or consensus on things, and yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I also find very interesting is, especially for when I would be, let's say, when creating a dApp, you know, on a network where essentially this constitution has not been defined yet. You know, it's a risk immediately, right? Because suppose I'm developing a dApp which is a little bit, let's say, on the edge of what's possible, of multiple, let's say, jurisdictions, and then suddenly, let's say, in this constitution comes something which would make my whole business case or my whole business model void. So at least, you know, I would like to have some kind of guarantees that let's say the scope of the constitution will be within certain limits, and I believe that it's still, let's say, in these limits, so that when I publish my dApp, you know, it will be allowed, you know, in the general terms. So maybe that's also something to do, to just at least give a guarantee that, you know, the scope of the document will be between these bounds, that it will not exclude, let's say, some kind of business being pushed on the chain.
Yeah, it's like insecurity is bad for business. You know? You need to know your boundaries. You need to know the rules a little. So, well, from a general point of view, I believe the larger roads to a constitution are more or less, I'm not saying defined, but they seem pretty clear. That is that you know, you might think that the constitution will at least look a little like what's in it right now. However, you know, some very important clauses totally change overnight. So it remains insecure. So boy, you're right there. I mean, you need to have some ground under your feet when you start working on a dApp. I totally agree.
Yeah, that's why we were debating also what block producer should look like. There's discussions, you go back and forth also within our team about, can a block producer have a stake in another block producer? Can a dApp be a block producer? I mean, there's very fundamental questions on what a block producer should be. We know some things. Everybody agrees that it needs to be geographically dispersed. It needs to have its feet on the ground in multiple jurisdictions. We agree that dominant stakes like dApps, large dApps, and exchanges should not be maybe in the act as block producers, because they have too much of an incentive to go a certain direction. So it's very difficult to. So we were debating, okay, on who do we vote? Well, of course we vote on EOS Amsterdam, but second, who should get our vote? What's important? Cloud, not cloud, hybrid. I mean, there are some lists out there that people put a lot of energy in to make their own criteria. And we also have basically the same questions on who should have we have 30 votes on each token. So who should we give our second vote to and third vote to, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's also within our team, we have good discussions about this. In my sense, I want everybody to be a pure block producer. Just do that sport, do that business to the maximum you can, and don't mix it with, and then you can balance everything that is relevant for the community. So, of course, you have needs and wishes from large dApps, but small dApps would like to have it a different direction. So I think block producers should be very, very independent.
That's a good question. It's something we've talked about here at EOS Go is coming up with some sort of a way to give voters an idea of what makes a good block producer. It's something that we probably have in our future plans to cover. So
yeah, I think your star system with the 8 stars is a very good model. We just could add maybe some more controversial stars.
Right.
Whether you would like to have a blue star or a green star, it just make the choice so you can differentiate what your stands are.
Yeah, we actually purposely avoided that for the time being, just because we want to keep it objective and just get the information out there for everybody. But now that the information is out there, and you guys were just saying you're discussing it, what do you guys, have you kind of made some decisions as to what's important to you guys when you're voting for other block producers? Like, I know you said
what I say, I think the independence is very important. So I want block producers very independent. So no stake in other block producers. I will sell my EOS DAC because I don't think that is a good model for block producers. I don't vote for exchanges, and I don't vote for large dApps because I think it should be a sport, an activity that is very pure. I'm very enthusiastic about the construction that we chose with a lawyer in the back end. Every thought that we have, we can check with Jetse. He's, of course, not very technical on the block producing operation itself, but give it some time. In 6 months, we have an expert here on board, and we have Boy who understands the software. He's reading the code as a hobby. So I think that we need people like that. And you see with many block producers that they have a team like that. They have very professional people on board. They have entrepreneurship on board, and now we need block producers that are active and build value for the total community. So organize meetups. We're organizing meetups now across the Netherlands. So if you're more on the east side of the Netherlands, then it's more easy to attend. It's not concentrated to Amsterdam. I mean, the Netherlands is not a very big country, but still 2 hours in a car to go to a meetup in Amsterdam, if you live in the south or in the east of the Netherlands, is an investment. So the next meetup will be in Arnhem. So we are organizing it throughout the Netherlands.
And of course, Jetse gets a gold star for having the most unique background. Guys, we need to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, having the most unique backgrounds, I found lawyers everywhere. You know, it's a bit like mice. You know, they're in every household. Find them everywhere.
No, I think Jetse, they talk about the painting.
But the fun about it, I mean, you know, this is the governed blockchain. It's all about the way people interact, and you know, I've done this my entire business life. You know? So it feels I feel totally at ease in this environment. And I don't understand why I'm the sole solicitor lawyer out there. Well, anyway, happy to be.
Guys, it was a pleasure having you on.
Yeah,
thank you again.
Thank you guys for the great weekend too. You kicked it off for the very first show, and now you're here kicking it off for our last show as well. So, or last day, I should say. But
good luck, guys.
Thank you. Same to you.
Have a good show today.
Good luck in the coming weeks.
Can I say one little remark? Let's say on what Red said, a small one, and that is that I'm really confident that, let's say, all these questions, they will be solved because of, let's say, how everybody is incentivized. And that's really what I learned in being part of this process. So I understand maybe a lot of people have questions on how these things will be resolved, but my understanding is, and my real experience is, these will be resolved automatically, because, let's say, everybody is in line to do so. So, okay, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Have a good show.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Hey, guys. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Javi. Thank you for coming in with us. Javi's with the EOS-PH in Philippines. How you doing?
Hi, good. 7:30 p.m. Sunday, and I just wanted to check in again for a few minutes just to talk to you guys. How's it going?
Good. It's a completely different party you're doing now than you did yesterday.
Yeah.
What I'm noticing.
Going on solo today. Yeah.
Yeah. What's new with you? What's been going on over there?
Nothing much. So we've been configuring servers and getting up to date with the code base for the mainnet, and can't wait for launch, as well as get those portals up and to get the community going, and to see where we'll be in the next few days.
Right, Javi, tell us what you're excited about. Like, other than launch, like, what are you once this thing is up? What's next? What's on the radar?
Yeah, so I wasn't able to mention yesterday. There were a lot of people, but I wanted to talk about how it's exciting that you don't have to be in a developed world. You don't have to be in Silicon Valley anymore to have funds, go through certain projects, and I'm so happy and excited to be able to witness an experience where money can transfer around the world and much easier. And so startups and new businesses can flourish in developing countries like the Philippines. And it's so exciting after launch, and hopefully that goes through in a couple of months from now, and we can see all these awesome DApps for EOS come in. I mean, aside from the performance, it's also the governance and the community, really. So I think that, technology is your first advantage, and eventually it's the community and the use cases that kind of sustain the whole thing. And that's why EOS is so exciting. I mean, you have EOS Go here, getting all hyped up with the community and getting in touch with up-to-dates, and that's unique in the EOS community and the EOS and the blockchain space. So really cool stuff. Really cool stuff, guys.
Are you looking forward to any particular app or DApp in mind?
Really excited for Everpedia, kind of cool, and I think Ono is really interesting as well. They're building, Facebook for China, and yeah, so those values of, where democracy and freedom of speech is really exciting for us. Really exciting.
Yeah. So Facebook for Ono. Facebook for EOS. Or Facebook for China? Sorry, is that what it's known as? Really?
From what I heard, that's what it is. Yeah, I think they got 200,000 signups on the first day.
Oh wow,
which is
very cool.
I want to ask you guys, like, how about what are your DApps that you're so excited about?
Well, I mean, community dApps and actually are some of my favorite, I think, as well. And I was actually going to ask you to dive in a little deeper in terms of when you mentioned the community in your area, right, and coming together and being able to use dApps. Can you dive in a little bit deeper as to what you see for that? You said it's you seem like there's a lot of opportunity there, especially in areas like Philippines, where you guys might benefit. We can answer the question more soon, too, but I find that really interesting. That I just wanted to hear more from you about that topic. For like community DApps and that kind of thing.
So there's an app called Life Mesh, and it's disaster recovery, and it's also for how relief goods from person sending the products to supply chain and eventually going to the people in need. And sometimes what happens is there are people who take those donated items and either keep it for themselves, or they put the money to some other uses, and then some of them pocket them. So there's these micro corruptions that shouldn't be in place, so the blockchain can help that, take that out, make it secure and safe. So that's really interesting. And eventually, this is kind of far off, but this is maybe a more personal thing, but eventually maybe elections and governments can be run on blockchains and on a blockchain, and we'll see how, stable and secure those are.
Yeah, we've heard that desire a few times. I mean, that would certainly be fun to be able to vote on blockchain and even have the entire economy run on blockchain. Dan has that great example he uses, Dan Larimer, of course, and he talks about taxes. You could replace taxes with just the government taking part of the inflation for themselves in a blockchain-based economy kind of thing. So that was neat to me as well. And Bluejays, you answer Javi's question about what are your favorite dApps?
No, I didn't, but I think something like ONO or whatever the next Steam. We've heard rumors about it, so that's something that's very interesting to me.
I'm sure there's so many. How are you guys feeling, by the way, for like the launch party? You guys still have a lot of energy? How is it? How are you guys keeping up?
Oh yeah, you want to do some disco right now? We can always do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, we're just this has been a fun weekend. I mean, like you said, it's fun to meet everybody and just it's a community. That's what this is all about, and so thank you for coming in and updating us, of course, and showing your side of things. Where is everybody right now? Where'd they all go?
Yeah, so we were yesterday we went in the office. We were in the conference room. Now, just to get out of the office, I'm actually had dinner and back home.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
So we didn't decide to have it in the office anymore. So it's just me solo, EOS-PH guys.
What have you been seeing? Of course, we have to ask about the launch. What have you been seeing? Because we actually just got up a little bit ago, so we're trying to get updated from the communities as to what's been happening.
From the community side, I can probably just talk about our side. So we've been chatting with people and seeing how they feel, and there are a few people who are worried that the token freeze, and some of them weren't able to register, and we were saying that, hey guys, always register, make sure you register, and we were trying to get in, and there are a few people still decided didn't get to register. So that's the sad part. But in terms of EOS-PH BP, our networks are figured, it's secure, it's in one of our data centers. So pretty much a little bit more of a waiting game now. Actually, we want to get in touch with the communities here where everyone else is at.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing now. It seems like people are starting to get a little more sleep. They're not just staying up all night every night because there's more waiting involved now, so they can take some cat naps maybe. So that's a good thing.
What time is it there for you guys?
What time?
It's 7:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good morning.
Yeah, we're still going. But the disco lights are on, so we can't stop dancing. So one of those things. But about the governance side, when there've been a lot of discussions about the recent constitution changes that they're putting into EOS itself. What are your thoughts on governance on blockchain and in EOS?
Governance and blockchain, definitely important. I mean, it's the process where code isn't the law, and where personal experience and consensus has to happen. And so the recent changes can't necessarily comment on those. There's a lot of things that are going on, and I think that we should see how the community decides on that. So we'll see where consensus is at after launch. I think it will. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll see how the community takes it.
You mean so? People keep talking about a referendum. How do you hold something like that? I guess you need a tool to be able to vote on items or issues, just like you'd be able to vote for a block producer. Do you foresee how that can be implemented?
That'd be great. If there's a way to be able to get all the block producers and to one kind of private channel or something like that, or VPN or some sort, that will be great. That would be great. Yeah, so we gotta get in contact with the other block producers. Eventually, if, humbly, if we're chosen. So yeah, hopefully that comes out because that's really important.
Very good.
Yeah, I think. Well, Javi, thank you for checking in with us. It's been awesome meeting you. Really, I mean, we had not met you until yesterday when you guys popped in and really brought the party. It was
huge enthusiasm. Hope you guys like that. Well, that was a goal, you know. It's a launch party, the spirit of launch party. I decided, hey, why don't we just get a bunch of people, grab some pizza and barbecue, and show the community that we're really much excited for this. I mean, just how you guys are and everyone else is. So, and now I decided to, you know, come solo and so you can have a more, you know, not too noisy conversation. So,
how was the barbecue, by the way?
Oh, really good, really good.
Yeah.
Filipino barbecue.
Oh yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, and that was kind of what we. All right, thanks, Javi. Thank you very much.
Filipino barbecue. That sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good, doesn't it? That was, I think, something we actually hoped we'd see some of too. To some degree, we just see some good old launch parties happening and people hanging out. You know, we have to meet their whole team. It looked like.
Yeah.
Remember, their tech guys were all there too, and I love seeing the tech guys. You know, because you know they've been battling.
Yeah, they've been let out of the bunker.
Let out of the bunker, right? And they always look the happiest to be out.
I'm free.
I'm free, but now I think I might want to go back because they're doing disco.
Too much talking.
Right. Yeah, I want to leave. We have Wancloud coming up, Bluejays.
Okay.
Wancloud. Yeah, I think they're based in China, and they're running for block producer candidate, I believe. And we're about to find out a lot more. We've actually not met them before, so this will be new for us. Hey.
Hello, Wancloud.
And maybe I think we might have a couple members. Can you hear us okay?
Hello.
Hey, hi there. How you doing?
Good.
Good. My name's Kevin. What is your name?
My name is Tom.
Tom. Great to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Hi, Tom. I'm Bluejays.
Hi.
Hi.
Here we also got our Wancloud team.
Oh,
together with me. Yeah, let's just have just let me say a quick hi to guys.
Hello, I'm Leo.
Hey, Leo.
Hi. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, some other team.
Hi, my name is Johnny. I'm an architect of Wancloud. Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you. Thanks, Johnny. Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Kevin.
Yeah. Hi there.
This is Eddie. Yeah, I'm the business consultant for Wancloud. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
And Bluejays is here too. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tony, and I come from the developer team. Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you. Yeah, thank you.
So here are some team member from Wancloud.
Hey, Tom. Tell us a little bit more about Wancloud.
Yes, sure. Actually, Wancloud, we are one of the pioneer in Asia. We start this idea from, to provide more convenient service to enable industry users, developers to access to the blockchain world, which we believe it can, develop a lot of new user scenario, new applications at much value to many industries. But at the beginning of this industry, it seems the blockchain technology is very difficult especially for developers sitting in different industry in companies. There's a big barrier for them to start with. For example, at the beginning, people has to set up their own verification nodes or the mainnet to just do some hello world, very simple software development. It will cost them huge efforts to get their hands on. So for Wancloud, we start with this very simple idea to help the massive amount of developers and companies in different industry to leverage blockchain technology. So we start to build blockchain as a service platform starting from May 2017. So we already launched our own OneCloud IDE, OneCloud Sandbox, and with some common technology components around blockchain, like the identity management and etc. And originally, we tried to start our blockchain service from the so-called federal chain, but seems after a few months experience, we think for federal chain there are many barriers or constraints actually for enterprise company to really leverage the capability from blockchain. So we quickly switch our model to work with major mainframe blockchain infrastructures, the public blockchain instead of a federal chain. So before EOS, we already support like BShares, Stellar, Facton, and Quantum on Wancloud already. So take BigShares as an example. This is BM's first baby. And for user in Asia, especially East Asia, actually when they want to access the BShares services, they have to experience a very long network latency. So we add a full node into the BShares public chain network, and we successfully has shortened the network latency by more than 60 times. So which makes BShares more accessible for user in Asia. So that's just a part of our work. So and OneCloud, we try to, according to our mission, we try to become the trusted contributor to connect different industry users and developers with the the state-of-art public blockchain infrastructure. So that's basically quite a quick introduction about OneCloud.
Oh, very good. So tell us, what are you looking forward to, Tom, in the next few weeks, months? What are you looking forward to?
So we have a long-term commitment to the, because for EOS, we are very excited to become part of the big moment for the whole industry. So we didn't have a chance to participate in the launch of the Bitcoin network, and also we miss Ethereum. So now we think for EOS, this is with the very proven track record of BM and the Block One team. We do hold a very big hope to EOS, because one of the some major issues today in the blockchain public infrastructure, which are the major barriers for industry users, for developers to really adopt blockchain and to create or generate real value to business world. So for many cases, often for many users, people just view blockchain as a sort of a concept instead of something actually they can really count on to solve those very complicated business problems or issues. So we hope that with EOS infrastructure implementation, we can enable more and more business applications in like supply chain management, in retail, in identity management, in many areas. So we do hope that after maybe several months or 1 or 2 years, we'll see a more convincing or more more broad adoption for blockchain technology, empowered by EOS and some other major public chain infrastructure.
And Tom, from what you've seen so far, and actually, I should ask first of all, where is Wancloud based out of?
Our mainnet, our block producer will first start from Hong Kong, okay. And also we'll have the backup nodes in Shanghai and some other Asia locations like Korea and Japan in our future plan.
Okay, and why is Wancloud also running for block producer? Can you describe what kind of value you'll be able to bring as a block producer for EOS?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as we just mentioned, we want to become the trusted contributor for enterprise user scenarios, or to connect the industry domain into the blockchain domain. We think only with a broad adoption in different industry, which can demonstrate or can prove the public chain's value in many ways. So, but to make that happen, it will require tremendous work, not just the development of the infrastructure itself, but also to promote the technology like EOS to different industries, and to make it easier for industry users and developers to adopt EOS technology. So that's we position us as a kind of a bridge to link the public blockchain ecosystem with existing industry users and developers.
And do you foresee a lot of sort of private implementation of the EOS.io software that would interconnect with the public chain? How do you see all that working out?
So, so far, just take a federal chain as example. We think with EOS, I personally believe that it will evolve more and more new business model and solutions. Because today's federal chain solution, to myself, I think it faces a lot of challenge because of lack of the common infrastructure, lack of common development environment, and the lack of inter-blockchain communication. It makes very difficult for industry users to realize real value from a federal chain solution. But with EOS, it will provide brand new options to make a different solution without spend too many efforts on the infrastructure itself, but enable users to focus on their business application, the business logic, and also the user use case itself. So we believe it will, and also another differentiation for EOS is that there will be a token in place, which will enable the multiple party collaboration, which we cannot do through a federal chain solution.
Sounds great. Yeah, it's great meeting you, because you have an excellent project going. And the community who's not as familiar with OneCloud, where can they start to learn more, and where can they keep up with you?
Yeah, they can visit our website at onecloud.io or onecloud.cloud. So there you can find quite comprehensive introduction about who we are, what we are doing, and what we will do in the future.
Very good.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on and saying hello. We're proud to meet you, and hopefully we'll be able to hear more from you in the future too. And maybe you can do another interview sometime down the line. It'd be fun, because it sounds like you have a lot going on.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. My big pleasure too.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. Yeah. Bluejays, I just learned a fair amount. I wasn't hadn't known a whole lot about OneCloud before, but
right.
Great to meet them.
You will know us more in the future.
Good. Sounds good to us. Yeah. Well, thank you, Tom, and we'll have you sign off. We have Bitspace coming in shortly.
Okay.
There we have Bitspace right now. Hi, Bitspace. How you guys doing? Oh, looks like they're still trying to get connected.
Go ahead, Bluejays.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Wancloud seems like a big player. They with so many past projects that they've been involved with.
Yeah, and it's neat. Hey guys, can you hear us? Okay.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good
well,
morning.
I mean, afternoon for you.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me guys? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We have Christian and Matthew, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, great to see you guys. So what, and we've been asking a few folks now, we just woke up. We want to learn the latest updates if we could, please.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd just dig straight in and give you guys the updates and make the best use of time. So, yeah, it's been a pretty crazy weekend. I mean, since Friday, we've been in the office day and night with, we're in Scandinavia, so it's pretty much daylight all night now at this point, which is interesting. Devs are working hard, making sure everything is functioning with validation, and so that's good. Constitution-wise, we're happy with how it's turning out. I'm not going to speculate too much on how the referendum will play out. We'll see what happens. But everyone's been communicating well. Today's kind of quiet, but it's everyone's still at it, I think. So yeah, that's good. And Christian just came back from Ukraine. Maybe you can.
Yeah, I guess I've been traveling a lot. I was in the UK with the EOS 42 event, and then of course went to China after that, the Canon Overseas BP Summit, and then now I went to Ukraine because we did an EOS Academy workshop, and we also did some presentations there, and it was a really good meetup, and we had some strategy of how we're going to move forward with the EOS Academy. That was interesting. And then we're going to the Tulip conference now this week. So it's a lot of traveling, and yeah, it's fun.
We had the servers, some of the servers been delivered today, so they're being prepped to go to Green Mountain as well and be fitted. Yeah, making sure that the token holders know about voting portals. One of the keys now is to kind of get that communication across to voters. It's still quite unclear online. It's quite fragmented, so we're trying to piece that together and make sure we get the right message out.
Go ahead, Bluejays.
So what are you guys looking forward to? Obviously, after the Tulip, we expect the chain to be up by then, hopefully. What are the next weeks and months look like?
That's a good question. We have, I think right now we're kind of very focused on the next 24-hour period.
Right.
That's where our focus is based, and trying to get this cleaned up before Tulip. Otherwise, Tulip could be fun for everyone. And then after the Tulip conference, we are making an announcement that Crypto Finance, which is this annual event we do in Oslo, Norway, which brings the traditional business sector with the blockchain sector in the same arena. We are announcing that there will be a global block producer summit at Crypto Finance on 16th and 17th of November this year. So we've started confirming slots for that, and it won't necessarily be just for the appointed 21, it'll be for all BPs. So that's something that we're already putting in the works. And then, of course, finalizing the details from the Academy, get another workshop set up, potentially another hackathon as well.
For viewers who haven't heard about the Academy, can you just give a brief overview?
Yeah, of course. So with the EOS Academy, we want to actually build a physical education institute called the EOS Academy, where developers can come and learn how to build on EOS from scratch. And then we can fly in all the EOS, the experienced developers within EOS to come and teach at the Academy. So it's nice to have an actual hub, like a physical area where people can just commit to EOS. And then from that, we can move into dApp development, right? So it's more of a foundational center, so people can come together and learn and collaborate. So that's what we would like to do. And we've been looking at locations now. And yeah, so we'll be a physical building, and then we'll do workshops throughout Europe and internationally that coincide with this.
Also, the Green Mountain. So that's also very interesting. Can you guys describe that as well, please?
Yeah. So we decided to go for a hybrid infrastructure. So with decentralization, if we're putting some local hardware on Green Mountain. Green Mountain is in the north of Norway. It's a nuclear and EMP resistant ex-NATO facility, so it's pretty secure. And then what we can do then is by having hardware and cloud services, we can decentralize and spread the risk a lot more, right? Because if centralized cloud services decided that this wasn't the way that they'd like to go, then we have a backup solution. So that was our reasoning for it, and it's very low latency from there. So around.
And speaking of, actually, you cut up a little bit there, your connection on this call, so we missed sort of the last part of that. Can you describe it?
Where did it catch?
We missed about the last sentence and a half or so.
Okay, yeah, so that's why we chose Green Mountain. So decentralize the risk and also have a low latency facility across all of Europe. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I know you've been all over the place traveling around, Christian. And can you describe some of the communities you see in the different areas and the differences and what folks should know about coming together? I think we have more connection issues.
I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Chris, if you guys can hear us, you guys are cutting up.
It's hard to discuss. Maybe we can.
Yeah.
You guys,
they're not able to hear
yeah.
us. I don't think.
Hear us now? I think we can hear you.
You're a little better now.
Yeah,
Yeah. You cut out for a solid 15 seconds or so there. Yeah. But we hear
Yeah,
you.
I think the Chinese community were very professional. I think they're to some extent ahead of Europe, at least, that we're familiar with. In Ukraine, there was very high turnout. I think people were really interested in EOS there. But it was kind of a less mature industry there. UK was good. I think it's still in its infancy. In China, there are some places that are quite mature, but other than that, I think we're still very early in this process. So I think there's opportunity everywhere, and I think I've seen this before as well, that it doesn't matter what individual companies and individuals do. In terms of fostering the environment, right? So if you have a really big player in one,
And if you guys can hear us okay, you guys are cutting out again. Can you hear us okay? You guys still there?
Looks like they're frozen.
You guys,
yeah.
Can you hear us now?
Okay. Switch the internet. We have several connections here, so. Okay, so now we're on a different one. Better?
I think it's starting to get better.
Okay, it's different. So, yeah, now I lost my train of thought.
So you were going into the differences of the communities, and some were more mature.
Yeah, so I think the main point here that I want to get across is that it really matters how much individuals and companies are pushing in their local region. So I've gone through different places, and some places Ethereum is very dominant. In other places, maybe Dash is dominant, or there's different places that focus on different types of technology, and I think we can really make a difference in our region and the regions that we get involved in. So it's not like we're not in a deterministic world where we're just victim to the environment, but we can actually create an environment for EOS in different regions. And that's a really, I think, an empowering thought. And I think it's important to keep in mind that it actually matters what we do to create the EOS environment. And that's why we're focused on like education and teaching people and creating an academy. Because suddenly you educate, let's say, 10 people, and then those 10 people can be the teachers of 100, and those 100 can be the teachers of 10,000. And that's that's kind of where we want to go with this to make the community as big as possible.
I think with this voting period that we have now as well, it's a great opportunity to bring in people who haven't been, necessarily paying attention for the past couple of years, right? So when they realize that there is a voting process going on within a blockchain, and they can find out who in their country is, trying to represent the community, I think that's a very big opportunity for all of us. So we should definitely keep up the hard work and push through this next week, because we can encourage more new community growth as well.
Yeah,
we don't necessarily have to look to the established community. We can still encourage, new groups of people through that.
Thanks for all you do, guys.
Yeah, and a lot of folks don't realize that you guys started very early. I mean, a lot of you're from the BitShares days, and now you've seen it all grow up a little bit. And sounds like you're saying we have a lot more growing to do, obviously. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that's part of the lesson, that with BitShares, he really created a good system. And the idea was build it and they will come. And that idea is not necessarily a realistic idea. You have to actually build the community, and you have to incentivize people to build on top of this platform. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really important aspect of what we're doing and what we should be doing in the future.
And how are you guys with
We're holding up.
I'm sure, yeah.
We're holding up, yeah.
It's been fun though. We've met a lot of people we haven't met before, and you guys seen some of the interviews. We've seen some some great DApp things that are coming up. A couple of things like Nairobi, they talked about incentivizing. I keep talking about it, but incentivizing parents to send their kids to school, and some cool stuff that we would never think of, right? But in their society may be a great use case. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we have of course we're different continents with different cultures, and from that we'll get new ideas that will just vary according to the entire globe. So it's going to be really, really fun in the next few weeks to see what.
Got that right. And where can folks keep up more with Bitspace? What are some of the best places to follow along with you guys?
You can tune into our Telegram. We're pretty active on the Telegram, and we have in the West we have Twitter, YouTube, Steemit, and Asian channels. We have WeChat, Bihu, and Youku as well. So there's plenty to choose from, but we have to get the message out, and
Very good.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. It was a pleasure, and like I said, we're proud to have you as part of the EOS community.
Thank you very much for having us, guys, and good job this weekend. Keep battling.
Thanks, guys.
See you
too. All right, see you guys.
I think we got Ashe coming up. Is it Kevin? Is he on deck?
Yeah, he's coming up. Ashe Oro. He's been here a few times now this weekend.
And OneChain. Do we have them as well?
OneChain. It's not Wancloud like we just talked to. OneChain is a different group. ONE chain.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll learn more from both. And Ashe asks great questions too. So I'm hoping to just sit back and have more coffee.
I'm wondering if Ashe is still celebrating. He's celebrating quite a bit, popping some bottles on the air. So
yeah, you might as well just keep going and going. I mean, why not, right?
All right.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
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 Hey, hi there.
Hi.
Great to meet everybody. Of course, we met Ashe.
Nice meeting you.
It's just Ashe again. Hey, who do we have on the call here?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Are you?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you guys too.
Yeah.
So you guys are with OneChain, right?
Yeah, we're OneChain.
Yeah.
All right. And what are your names? Who are we talking to?
It's our engineer. Introduce yourself.
I'm engineer of OneChain.
I'm the marketing manager of OneChain, and here are my two colleagues. One of the senior developer, and the other one is the translator from marketing department because he needs assistant for the language. So.
Okay. What's your name?
Sina. Nice meeting you
Sina.
guys.
Nice meeting you as well.
And where is
My
your
name
team?
is Anu. I just talked to you through the Telegram. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, Anu. Okay, great.
It's neat. Yeah, it's
Sina,
fun.
Let us know a little bit more about OneChain.
Yeah, our project actually started from at the end of 2016, and our first text version was out when public from last year at August, I think, and then this year at January the 15th, we launched our main network. So for now, we have 530,000 users already.
Wow.
We're
Okay.
doing that.
wow.
Yeah.
Where's the team based out of?
Our foundation registered in Singapore, but our tech team is working in China partly. So,
Very nice. And can you describe OneChain a little more in terms of what the users can expect?
yeah, we actually are doing all in one dApp based on blockchain technology. So we're using the graphene, technology bit from BigShares for our exchange. So we basically have three main features. The first one is Super Wallet. We support different systems like based on ETH, ERC20 tokens, and also BitShares and Bitcoins. Also EOS after the main network launch, and that's our Super Wallet. We already support 700 more cryptocurrencies. By the way, that's a pretty good number, I guess, for for wallet. And we also have decentralized chat. We would say we're the first launched decentralized chat. Actually, we already have really a big user base for using that feature, and it's really stable. And also we have decentralized exchange, like what I said, is based on the BitShare technology with the graphene. So yeah.
Excellent.
What are you guys excited about after the launch? What do you have on the radar, and what kind of plans do you have?
Well, we gotta support EOS, crypto for sure. We're gonna have the one EOS wallet just for EOS, so you can see we are really enthusiastic about that. Also, our developer right there, I guess he knows, what we are doing for the tech, for the EOS. So you want to share a bit?
EOS. For EOS launch, Kenner team and Ghostbuster team now test the main network. This some weeks.
Okay. All right. It seems like our developer a bit nervous. Okay. So actually the one EOS wallet we're going to do is for maybe 3 or 4. So first we're going to support the Super 21 supernodes vote. That's the really essential thing. So we're now, shout out for the audience, or you guys have the US community connection so we can have the info for getting the votes. That would be great. And next one is we support the US crypto. And if the currency gonna based on US, we're gonna support for sure. So that's a wallet just for US, systems. And also, if you use our one US wallet, if you have the the candy drop about US, you can get it naturally. It's from the wallet. That's cool. So yeah.
Take you to the candy shop.
Right.
we should just start calling airdrops candy now, Kevin.
That's what it is.
And can we start just start playing 50 Cent every time somebody drops some new tokens?
We got the candy shop, right?
Okay. On top of this, our wallet, our EOS wallet also supports the regression of the US. Our wallet can enable the super nodes or block producer candidates vote. Yeah, actually, it's we have developed a stimulated version. You can try if you download our EOS wallet. You can try how to vote. I think this is a good example for the community because a lot of EOS holders don't know how to vote. Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, did you guys get it? It's about like the dirty describing for this 21 supernodes vote actually. So basically saying everyone should know how to do it because not everyone knows. It's kind of complicated for understanding the rules, right? It took me a while actually to understand how it should be voted and how the game will continue endlessly. So it was pretty cool actually.
Yeah, we've had several people show some voting apps so far, and of course there's EOS Portal, and then we saw one from yesterday from Jesta. So we're looking forward to seeing one from you as well. I think it gave everybody some diverse options there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Ashe, what's going on with you? What's new? And are you still popping bottles?
Well, I'm in transit right now in Bangkok on my way to San Francisco for the Tulip Conference.
All right.
So if it looks like I'm sweating, I am. Is it because the main net hasn't launched yet? I don't think so. It could be the spicy red Thai curry that I just ate. So I'll be in San Francisco tomorrow. I guess it's morning time for you guys on the 5th. So really excited.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll see you there. You'll see everybody there. Looks like.
Yeah, looks like it's the place to be.
Yeah. And have you met OneChain before, Ashe?
I have not met OneChain before. I'm not even very familiar with you guys' project, but it sounds interesting. One of the most common questions I hear from people from EOS, people that are interested in EOS, maybe bought a little bit of tokens, but they're like, there's only the EOS raised all this money. There's only a command line wallet. And I'm like, you just wait till you see all the wallets that are going to be popping up, and they're going to be integrated with probably decentralized exchanges and voting mechanisms and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Right. It's pretty exciting, actually, because our project was, our developers working so hard to get it, but our branding slowly started. So for now, we only participated 2 conferences, but it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Are you guys doing conferences mainly in Asia right now?
Yeah, right. We attended a few ones in Shanghai, and for example, the Grand Fame one was big for the big crab, and a few famous people was there. Probably you guys have heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to some conferences in I think Singapore, but I've only lived in Asia for maybe about a year now. But I'm headquartered mainly in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and I freaking love Thailand. It's got to be the best country in the world, I think.
Oh my God, Thailand is so amazing.
It's like if you I don't have a driver's license. I'm a digital nomad, and it just relapsed, and I'm not in the States long enough to get it back. And if you drive without a driver's license in the States, it's like a really big deal. If you get caught, if you drive in Thailand, it's $15.
Tell us why you like Thailand so much.
Man, so I started traveling about a year ago. Just decided I want to pick up and travel the world for a year. I quit my job at Euro Pacific Bank, and I was like, whatever. I'm just going to travel. And I heard all these awesome things about Chiang Mai, Thailand. Like it's for digital nomads. There's fast Wi-Fi. It's cheap to live. And I moved there in like August of last year. And all of a sudden, there were like meetups all the time, and so many digital nomads everywhere. And you could go get, cheap, awesome coffee. It's a big coffee and yoga culture there, and you can get cheap, good coffee and just sit and work in a cafe all day, or just read about cryptocurrencies all day, and nobody's going to say anything to you. And all of a sudden, I started going to networking there, and this is when cryptocurrencies, are like blowing up. This is August, September, October, November, December of last year, and it's typically a place, Chiang Mai, is where people try to go and build an online business because it's pretty cheap to live. So maybe drop shipping, or I'm going to create an SEO business or whatever. And the entire talk turned to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And before I knew it, there were 4 weekly meetups discussing cryptocurrencies. One like beginner, one advanced, one for trading, and one specifically about investing in ICOs.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So professional. It's a big series, You can start from I don't know anything to start an ICO. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just insane. They've got, awesome food, of course, cheap, awesome, spicy Thai food, and it's just really great. And Bangkok is such a hub. You can fly so many places direct, like Tokyo direct, Sydney direct. You can fly Europe. You can fly Singapore direct. And then, of course, there's the beaches down south. Like I just lived for a month in Koh Samui, a small island. Of course, there's Phuket. In the north, it's cooler with the mountains, and there's Pai if you're looking for happy shakes or whatever. But
I don't know what that is, but it sounds great.
Sounds like perfect life. You're actually luring everyone to go. It's a perfect place for work, for crypto.
Right.
Yeah, right. I put out a tweet yesterday, and I didn't think it was going to get the attention it did. I said, whenever EOS overtakes Bitcoin in market cap, I'm going to throw a massive party in Bangkok. And I was like being playful. I was like, who wants an invite? And now there's like 100 people that have commented on it. So I've got to hold up my end of the bargain here.
Yeah,
So
well, hear that too. A solid party then.
We got some time though. I don't know if or when. I don't typically talk about the price much, but if that market cap flips Bitcoin, that's gonna be a day to celebrate right there.
Right. Then we'll Are you a resident of Thailand now?
I'm not. I'm still just on a tourist visa.
Okay.
But they just released something called the Smart Visa. It's for digital nomads. It's a 5-year visa. So they're starting to open up to make it easier for visitors, digital nomad type people to come because it's good for their economy.
Right.
I mean, you know, we spend a lot of money here, especially in Chiang Mai. But there's also, if any of the listeners have, you know, they're sitting on a decent amount of crypto, you're tired of all the visa nonsense. If you travel like I do, then you know that visas are ridiculous, right? But I think for like between $10,000 and $40,000 US, you can get some really awesome visas. It's called the Elite Visa in Thailand. I think the top one's a 10-year, maybe no, a 20-year visa for like 30,000 US or something. I know it sounds really expensive, but you're going to spend that on plane tickets flying around, you know, escaping the country and coming back to renew your visitor visa.
Wow, what's the condition? You pay for that amount of money so you can get that, you know, the visa for 10 years? Is that how it works?
Yep, exactly. You just pay them the money. It's called the Thai Elite Visa. I plan on going through it at some point soon, so I'll let everyone know.
That's how elite means in Thailand, probably. You pay that amount of money, and we assume you're elite for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, just pay the government off, and then they'll let you stay on their farm for a bit.
It's official, yeah.
Yeah, at least it's official. At least it's not like backdoor stuff. But
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to highlight that the OneChain, you know, that there's a lack of real technology in the form of the live products. So OneChain is one of the first implemented a real project and product. So far, our wallet, our product has decentralized social media, standard transfer, decentralized exchange, and also our super wallet. So you know, in China, EOS is very popular. Maybe you may be aware that BM, the founder of the EOS, there's a big Chinese VC. He invested. He's one of the first investor of the BM. So BM, he set up the BitShare, the company BitShare, the Steemit. Then now he moves to EOS. So we are looking forward to the launch of the EOS mainnet, and a lot of Chinese developers are eager to develop some amazing applications on top of the EOS.
Yeah, basically my colleague just want to stressing that, you know, historically China have a really good relation, or people are really like they're crazy about US, kind of, you know, all the crypto people in China. I don't know why, whether they're same hot in America or anywhere around the world, but it's really crazy. Actually, one of the early investors of BM before starting BitShares was Li Xiaolai. I don't know whether you guys know his Chinese name, but he's kind of famous if you guys heard of it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are a lot of the US supporters in China. So yeah, they all very excited to take part in the block producer candidate vote.
Do you think if I wear an EOS like shirt in like Beijing or Shanghai or something, I can like find some groupies, like find some followers and my people? I just walk around with the chestahedron on my chest.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
probably. I would say yes. you know, I find there was a few brands now in Beijing. Maybe some people just screenshot it to me. Like there's the ETH cafe or there are EOS, you know, restaurants. I don't know whether they photoshopped it, but it looks so real. And it was like, damn, I want to go there, you know, wearing that shirt. You find your groupies right there. So on the ground. Yeah, right there.
Hey, Kevin Bluejays, I've been traveling today. Has there been any like major updates from any block producers about the
major updates? They're doing some security testing now, so they're organizing and doing some pen testing, and that's in order to prepare. So it's kind of like a baby step almost.
Yeah, we've also heard it described when mainnet actually happens, it'll just be kind of a non-event. It's like, oh, this one just happened to make it far enough, and now here it is. It's mainnet. Congratulations. But yeah, sorry, Bluejays. Did I interrupt you?
No, you're right, Kevin. So one of the test chains have been launched, and they're sort of validating that everything is okay. And if everyone's okay with it, I mean, it's all about consensus and verification, right? So.
And for OneChain, where can folks keep up with you guys? Where's the best place for the community to catch up and follow along going forward?
Sorry,
can you repeat that?
Where's the best place for everybody to keep up with OneChain? Is it your website, or do you have social media?
Telegram. Yeah.
Social media.
You can join the Telegram, so we can have a little chat there, and then we can download the dApp from there. So it's easier from Telegram, I guess. Yeah.
Telegram.
You can find us at the Steemit or Medium. Yeah, just search OneChain. Yeah.
OneChain.
OneChain. Start up.
Actually, there's another project similar to our pronunciation. Kind of confusing, right? The first one is OneCoin. That was a total scam, if you know, so don't confuse about that. We're a real project, just to clarify. And the second is, what is the name? It's WAN, OneChain, right? So we actually ONE, OneChain. So it's kind of different. So, yeah. If you search OneChain, ONE, one, so you can search from any social media, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like your website is at the onechain.one.
Yeah, right. You found it?
Yeah. Cool. Looks good. Well, thank you everybody for joining us as always. And Ashe, don't hurt yourself out there. We'll see you in a couple days.
Have fun in Thailand. Looks like your life.
Yeah, I'll see some of you guys in San Francisco in a few days. So really excited about that. And then Kevin, I'm gonna pull you over to Cryptolina if you have some free time the week after that. So
I would love it. Yes,
we'll see. All right, hey, real quick, Bluejays asked, what's the cost of living in Thailand? If you're watching your budget, you can easily live on $1,000 in Chiang Mai a month, including your rent, your food, all the coffee you can drink, stuff like that. If you want to live comfortably, I would say, $1,700 US, then you're living pretty comfortably there. Not having to cook, eating out. So, all right, fellas, keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, OneChain.
Yeah.
Nice to meet
you guys.
Nice meeting you
Bye-bye.
guys.
See you guys.
Thanks,
pleasure.
guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, no.
这是我们的那个 Telegram.
Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. Hey, Kevin, who do we have coming up?
Looks like EOS Nairobi, Bluejays.
All right.
Yeah, we have a few new folks coming on from EOS Nairobi as well. I think.
I like to see that every time these teams come on, they always seem to bring new members on, which is awesome.
Isn't it cool? Yeah. I mean, we didn't expect that when we, decided to offer a 5-day party.
Yeah.
But it's been fun because we've seen like Jose's volcano. He brought that on.
Right.
I don't think they're a member of the team, but just a member that was nearby, kind of thing. So
somebody trying to run away from the volcano.
Yeah, right. And then EOS Nairobi's coming up, and actually, Josh. We talked to Josh the last couple of days, but he won't be with us this time. It'll be George and a couple other folks as well.
Kevin, somebody asked in the chat whether or not we should be lighting up our things at the top of the screen there. So we don't know. Like maybe those things. For the first one, verify snapshot on boot has probably been done, but community hasn't given consensus. Community hasn't put out an official statement yet. So that's kind of like what we're waiting for. It's like an official statement from block producers that this part has been done, and maybe they're doing both phases at once. Maybe they're doing verify snapshot and boot and testing at once, right? So maybe we'll get both of those lit up at the same time, possibly.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I mean, it's like just like the champagne thing we were talking about yesterday. You know, we may not have a full reason to use that, but we would just light it up anyway. Might as well. But you know, just to celebrate. No, I'm just kidding. But,
yeah, we don't want to do our you know, what is it?
That's more serious. Yeah, you can't light something up and announce something. But the champagne you can just throw up and around. Yeah, just like Ashe was the other day.
He's popping
nothing
bottles.
was happening, but he was just popping them up. Yeah. And I think you're right about the candy drop, Bluejays, you know?
Oh, yeah. We need to get a candy drop a track in here. Let me just play like a hip-hop beat for everybody right now. So we'll get a candy drop thing going, and we'll do this.
Should be beautiful, I think. Oh, we're still going. Bluejays, what have you learned so far this morning? I mean, what's changed overnight for EOS? We've had a couple of updates now. You know, it's mostly a sit and wait situation. We probably have a lot of folks who are also just tuning in or waking up, coming on, trying to learn the latest. What is the update that we have so far?
So the update so far is that we do have a candidate out there, a test candidate for chain, and people are verifying it. What's going to happen is the verification procedures are going to be ironed out. And also the snapshot has been ironed out. That looks good to go. And then finally, we kind of have a testing scenario where people are just testing security. So a lot's going on right now. While it seems silent, there's a lot going on under the scenes. People may be catching up on sleep, and people who caught up on sleep are probably working now. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. And people, like you mentioned before, Kevin, everything is happening around the world, and follow the sun. It's always daytime somewhere. So
follow the sun. I like it, Bluejays. You've been reading some Sun Tzu.
Yeah, it's a term in IT which it's like an operational thing. So teams usually have diverse teams across the world, so that when one goes to sleep, the other one will wake up.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, EOS Nairobi should be coming in shortly here, Bluejays. Talk about the sun. They probably have about 4 or 5 in the afternoon for them.
Yeah.
And actually, Bitspace, they said they're having almost 24 hours of daylight right now for their summer. I guess once you get, because they're far up in Scandinavia. Once you get far enough north, the daylight doesn't stop.
Wow, that would freak me out.
Think so? You wouldn't need any of those energy drinks, Bluejays. You could just stay right up.
Just stay up, yeah.
Daylight. Yeah.
Just to sleep in the winter.
Yeah, right. And when you hear from OneChain and Wancloud, so there's OneChain is ONE, right, like the number 1, and then Wancloud is WAN cloud. What did you learn from those groups? I mean, we're seeing a lot of innovation in China, and even Bitspace mentioned that too. When they went and visited, they said, you know, China's very serious. They're even further ahead of Europe, possibly. What did you learn from Wancloud and OneChain?
Yeah, so we haven't heard much from them, but we know they are the type of teams that under promise and over deliver, right? We hear that a lot, and we know they're going to be on the scene when the chain goes live and be there to support it. So that's good to have legitimate players like that, huge players, established players, and also experienced people who have supported projects before. Like I believe people at Wancloud were talking about BM, which is Bytemaster. So they definitely know about EOS and the background of EOS.
And Dan's background, of course, as well. You know, BM, he's very celebrated, you know, in China, from what I understand. People just respect all the work he's done and where he's going. And I think we have a visitor here. Looks like maybe a wall or a ceiling. I can't tell.
Akram.
Yes.
Akram, can you hear us? Yep.
Yes, I can.
We see a purple wall or background. We're not sure what it is.
Let me see. I'm really trying to put the settings so that you can all see me. Fortunately.
Maybe the camera's turned the other way. Or who knows?
Oh, there we go.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hi. Can you see us?
Yeah. Maybe if you flip around, like you face the, if you turn around, that we can get the, yeah.
Let's do.
There you go.
So the light is in your faces.
There you go.
Good call. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, George.
Hey, Kevin.
All right.
Hello.
Great to see everybody here. Yeah, so we have not met we met Akram the other day, but George and who else do we have?
David.
David, great to see you guys.
Hi,
yeah.
David.
How are you guys related to EOS Nairobi?
I'm related. I do part of the training, mostly on the programming part of EOS Nairobi.
Your volume's a bit low there. Do you mind speaking up a bit?
Yeah, I'm more on the training side, and I just do most of the training, mostly in C++. And,
okay, cool.
You do some. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So what happened is David is doing has actually been training most of the EOS members, teaching them how to use C++, and also he is the dev guy I brought with relation to the Nyumbakumi initiative that I was talking about previously. That was yesterday.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Debbie. Thank you for bringing Debbie in, because that initiative will be very impactful. And I know you guys have focused, EOS Nairobi is focused on education. You guys have had a couple of meetups and you've been working on that. Can you talk about the passion for EOS and the growing sort of community there and the education initiatives as well?
Yeah. First of all, when Dan approached me the first time, because we are friends with him, and he told me if I'm willing to join the group so that I can contribute in terms of the training, I was really happy, because at that time it was actually my first time to try to work with smart contracts, because I was really happy because EOS was using C++ for writing the smart contracts. So I got the opportunity to work with the community, and my experience since then has been really good. So we started out with the basics, and we've reached that place where we want now to do the smart contracts using a project by the name Nyumbakumi, which is an initiative.
Yeah, we're not able to hear, guys. So you need to speak up or move closer to the mic.
Yeah, can you hold it just a little closer, because the chat would love to hear what you guys are saying.
Yeah, so I'm saying basically my experience has been really great with the community. I don't know, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you better now.
That's much better. Yeah, thank you.
My experience has been really good, as I said. We all started out with the basics of programming for the ones who are really interested also to learn programming, but also even if they are not really interested into developing, to also be in the level that they can start reading code. So up to now, where we are at the stage where we want to do smart contracts for initiatives like Nyumbakumi, which Akram and Amos are really the main architects in this.
So yeah, I just say that the passion comes in that one can be able to do actually solve many issues, and so for that reason we find that this space is very helpful, because you might enter wanting to learn, and then when you want to solve some of the things, you find that there are actually other people who are talented in other fields, and for that reason we find that it just becomes fun, because you can always learn something new. That's it. That's where the whole I'd say motivation comes in. Yeah.
That's neat. Yeah, and I have to point out, I see George's EOS Nairobi shirt looks good too. You guys have an awesome logo. Can we see the? Yeah. The other.
Thank you.
And we saw also a newer logo with the flag colors of Nairobi as well. And it was like a lady had a tattoo on her arm. It was a sticker that we saw, and people were requesting that tattoo, which was cool. But
that was designed by one of our members. He's called Brand. He's a creative guy. So yeah. And if you need any of the stickers, I think we can communicate using Telegram, and then we can just look for ways to actually send them out, so that the other members of the global EOS community can receive them.
That's awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. And George, go ahead, George.
Yes. Just a note that this T-shirt was designed for us by someone from EOS Dallas.
Oh, Steve Floyd, it sounds like.
Yeah, probably.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've all met. Oh,
we have Rosalind on the line.
Hi, Rosalind.
Welcome, Rosalind.
Rosalind.
Hi, Rose. Hi.
Yeah.
She seems like she's getting her sound set up. George, do you want to introduce her and tell her us about her?
Okay. So as Rosalind comes in, I wanted to add on to what you guys have spoken about, the development sector for our incubator and the classes that we've been carrying out at EOS Nairobi. It's been an exciting couple of weeks. We've had David at the top of his game teaching us some C++ knowledge together with some two other members who are not on the call at the moment. That's Peter Okwara and Tamara, who've done the basic smart contracts on EOS and also an introduction to C++. We've had some of the classes have consisted of a range of members, some of who already have quite a bit of programming behind them, and some who have not had any experience in programming, but the reception has been very positive. And I think what will happen after the first cohort is that once the first cohort goes ahead and creates a set of dApps that we set ourselves to create, we will split up into the beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. That's in the second cohort. At the moment, I am in Ireland. I'm in talks with a few organizations here, and some of them are organizations which have been looking to come into the Kenyan space in the energy sector, and we are assisting them to get onto blockchain, and they will be working together with EOS Nairobi.
Did you say Ireland?
Yes, Ireland.
Okay.
That's awesome. Wow. Can you hit some breaking news on that, Bluejays? That was great. So, yeah, you guys are reaching out all over the place to bring in more infrastructure to Nairobi and build on blockchain, and that's cool. Yeah. And Rosalind, yeah, nice to meet you.
Hi, pleasure to meet you.
Hello.
How are you related?
Hi, I'm saying. Sorry.
I was just going to ask you, how are you related to EOS Nairobi?
EOS Nairobi is a community that I'm part of for the last 3-4 months, and I've joined as part of the research team, and I've taken up several roles within the community.
Very nice. And what is your current project that you've been working on?
Personally, mine is mainly the research project, but I'd also to take up that gap project for authors that it haven't set out all the specs, but I know that EOS is a place that I need to connect so that that project to come to life.
We keep hearing of it. Go ahead, George.
Yes. So Rosalind has also been in charge of our communications. She's been the person that you've been seeing behind our Twitter handles and the Telegram groups as well. And she's also deeply involved with the research arm of the organization, and she's going to be deeply involved and probably doing a lot of strategic research for enabling us to teach the rest of the Nairobi and Kenya community in how to use blockchain as a solution for the enterprise problems.
That's excellent. Yeah. And can we hear more about what the structure that will look like, the program, and what do you expect it will look like in the next 6 months or so?
The incubator, sorry?
Yeah, incubator.
Right, so for the incubator, we expect it to be able to accommodate people that already have done their coding and software engineering degree, but we also want to be able to accommodate business and entrepreneurs, that people who should be able to adopt blockchain for their enterprise, people who to take business to the next step, and people who want to develop the technical skill and capacity, other enterprise companies that want to come on board on blockchain. One of the things that we've noted is the need for people who understand this space, for people who can do the work, and people who can literally just explain it to people who don't get what all the jargon about. So we want to step into that within 6 months and be able to have people who can connect both businesses and clients with tangible solutions and tangible products that can help them scale businesses and deliver the impact that they need to develop.
Sounds like you must be working very close with David. Is that right?
Yes.
And David, can you add on more? And from your perspective, as the one who's actually in there teaching everybody, can you give us more perspective on the program in your eyes for like the next 6 months or so, how it might form?
Okay, in my own perspective, I think we'll go through the basics until we complete the basics completely, and then we can move to data structures, and then because blockchains are mainly data structures, and then once we get to the types of structures like linked lists, which that's the majority of the whole blockchain concept. Once we've gone through it, we'll go now to algorithms. So we'll just go from basics, then data structures and algorithms. So that's really like the basic structures. But in between, we'll be doing projects. So let's say like there's a project that does not require for a person to write their own algorithms. They can just use the APIs that are already there. We can just be doing before we get to the algorithms part.
Very cool.
Good deal.
Hey, thanks, guys. So we have some requests in the chat for you guys to do the disco dancing. Is that okay to do? I think Rosalind is happy to do that. We're just going to play some music. It's going to play on the stream. So just you have to imagine it in your head, okay? All right, let's do it.
That's the thing is, everybody else sees it and hears it, but we don't. So, we look great, right? No.
All right, guys, it was a pleasure having you on, and we wish you luck with all the amazing programs that you have going.
Yeah, and you guys have a lot of fans, it seems like, in the chat and the community. So thank you guys for coming on and saying hi to everybody, too. It's just amazing what you're building out in Nairobi, and we're looking forward to more from you guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bluejays. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.
Hey, Kevin, we'll take a 5-minute break. You okay with that?
That sounds good. Yeah.
All right. We'll be back, everybody, in about 5 minutes or so. Then we'll have Sam Sapoznick coming on.
Hell yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. So how was your break, Blue Jays? How many push-ups did you do?
Just went to grab some tea.
Oh, good. Good work. Hey, we have Sam Sapoznick coming right in hot here. Sam Sapoznick, hello. Hey there, Sam. How you doing? Can you hear us okay? No, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? No. No? No. Maybe you can't hear us
So
right
for everyone who doesn't know, Sam is a heavyweight in the field of EOS governance and constitution type stuff.
Yeah, he's very active in the Telegram channels. So a lot of folks on the Western, the Western EOS community knows him very well. You can go ahead and reconnect Sam if you can hear us or not. So he's here to give us just some information about his background and what he sees in EOS. A lot of people respect his opinions and his thoughts as well. So should be fun talking to Sam.
When he reconnects.
Yeah, when he reconnects, right. No audio, he says. Well, so Blue Jays, some folks are asking about the launch itself, and they're trying to get updates and see what's going on. So let's go ahead and just recap quickly what we know at this point. It's a waiting game, right? It's all about patience at this point. They're testing everything. They're trying to make sure that when they do go ahead and get this chain up, that everything is fully ready, because once you start it and it's going, you cannot go back and start over again, right?
Right.
Craig from BlockSmith at the same time, he said, hey, Sam, Craig from BlockSmith, he said that, even at 14%, even if they have a lot of votes and they're getting close to ready for initiation of the chain itself, for the voters to activate it, they can still go back and say, you know what, let's scrap this one and try again. So, Blue Jays, go ahead.
Sam, it seems you're still having a problem with your audio there. We can't hear you. Maybe check your mic settings. While Sam's doing that, I just wanted to just mention on what Kevin just said. So I just spoke to our team here, and we have highlighted the verify snapshot on boot phase. That doesn't mean it's done. It's no breaking news, nothing like that. That just means that it's in progress. So whenever we get to, if you guys can see, whenever we get to this phase, that means it's complete and we're into testing phase. But currently we are in the verify, boot, and snapshot phase. We probably should have lit that up earlier. It was just a communication issue, knowing what that actually meant. So this just means that it's in progress.
Yeah, exactly. And so then when can voters actually jump in and start voting? How long does that process usually take?
That's going to probably be a good, I would say, about a week or so. My estimate would be a week from today.
Yeah.
So maybe by Tulip conference next week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, we might have a 15% chain, and then that's when everyone can go in and, hey, this is a legitimate chain. So here we go. Maybe we can start voting. Do you have a block producer, Kevin? I wasn't sure. Are you?
No, for those who are wondering, EOS Go, not a block producer candidate in any way. We're not running for that. We are just here to help everybody stay updated. We're a neutral, independent media source, right? And we're just a hub for the community, trying to bring everybody together and strengthen the community.
Oh, can we hear each other now?
Yes,
Sam, hello.
There he is.
Yeah. Yay, okay.
All right. Yeah, great to meet you. We were just talking a little bit about how many folks know you from Telegram. They respect your opinions and your thoughts, especially in the governance aspects as well. Can you give us a little background? Who is Sam Sapoznick?
I'm going to take it slow because it's early morning. I've just woken up and under a little bit of pressure, as quite a few people are, around the launch. The launch is in progress, but it has not completed yet. And until it's actually pretty well complete, I can celebrate in a qualified, conditional way, but I'm not like full on, like ready to be like, yes, So things are in progress. Who's Sam Sapoznick? I am a native Californian, and I am in the midst of a career change, a little bit kind of drawn into the crypto rabbit hole. I've got about 20 years of small-time IT experience and a decade of gardening and landscaping, which is my more recent trade. And I've just become more involved in crypto since about let's see, roughly March 2017. So, what else to say? I guess that's enough about me for the moment.
And Sam, can you talk a little bit about what you've seen these last few months? I mean, you've been very active in governance chat, and we've been able to interact with Thomas Cox a lot. All these incredible members of the community as well, just discussing governance and trying to arrive at consent here towards the end. Can you walk everybody through that process and what it's been like?
Yeah, let's see. I see this as a process of ongoing evolution, and that the basic overall narrative is not super complicated. It's just a matter of people coming to gradually trust one another within the community. But that's not an easy process, and we can see how much time it's taken just to get to this point, and how much contention there still is about governance, that it's just a gradual, patience requiring thing. So I'm trying to think of get something more. That's what I've got for the moment.
I know you've talked about it being like the ongoing evolution, right, of self-governance, where we're trying to, the tools are now available for the first time kind of thing. And now we can actually go ahead and start governing ourselves on chain. And that's the hard part, right? We don't have the tools to arrive at consent right now, but where do you see that evolution going once the tools come available? I mean, do you see it being a smooth process, or is it going to take a little while? Or
I think that sometimes the process, sometimes you change the process, meaning the person goes in with an intention to change the process, whatever it is in life. Sometimes I find, at least for me, that the process changes me, and that's okay. And part of, I think, what's going on here is people are realizing as a community that deploying these tools upon ourselves changes us, changes the way we interact and respect one another. And particularly, I think it may lead to more of a tendency for people to do the good thing in governance, which is to agree to disagree. So the big change is what'll happen is, instead of in the past where governance mostly takes place on Reddit or GitHub comments and people fight it out, and the person who disagrees, basically they just finally have to give up at some point, but they're not satisfied because there's something somehow unfinished about that. With formal mechanisms, cryptographically secured tokens to do voting, ideally what will happen is proposals will come up. There'll be tons and tons of really vociferous arguments on both sides for however long. The vote will be taken, and the answer will come out of the vote. And that'll be pretty much it. There may be people who are still disappointed, but they can't say that they didn't get a fair participation in the process. Whatever the process is, whether that's one person, one vote, stake-weighted voting, or many other variations, we're going to see a huge explosion in the variation of ways of voting just enabled by the technology.
In fact, I brought up to Thomas Cox, who was on our show yesterday or the day before, about one approach that people are looking at in, I believe, another cryptocurrency space, which is quadratic voting, which is a sort of way to balance the voting across the distribution. I don't know if balance was a good word, but it definitely is a different approach to not being just a one-to-one
right.
vote. So
right. Actually, I read the quadratic voting paper. I think that was out of University of Chicago. I don't know the names of the fellows or the people who wrote it at the moment, but I recall reading it, thinking it was brilliant, and that I'll have to table it until after launch to really understand it. But that's just one small area where EOS and crypto tech in general, but particularly EOS, has just huge potential for change. Just like this one little corner of interaction and voting is, potentially revolutionary. And as we're frequently saying around here, it's truly just the tip of the iceberg.
Right. Exactly. And as a community, we'll probably have to come up with that mechanism in which we use to vote. Sam, how are we going on the constitution that's going to be included in the potential mainnet?
Let me speak carefully here, because again, it's not over yet. It's not actually over until the at least temporarily resolved, until the block producer candidates or launching block producers, pardon me, adopt a constitution. It looks like they are actually going to adopt a constitution looks fairly close to what we saw suggested by Block One just a little bit earlier in the week. Of course, Block One pulled that information because it's not official. It's just a suggestion. PPCs can do what they want, and they will do what they want. But I think they're kind of lining up to agree with the efforts that have been made up to this point.
Very cool. And sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
I was going to say, we've seen kind of a scramble in the last 72 hours trying to fix this and that to get it included in the Constitution. What are most of the changes? Are they wording? What's been going on exactly?
My understanding of the changes that have been made are that it is two main things. One, the Ricardian contracts were not fully complete, and for various reasons that I think are partly technical, partly organizational. So there were a lot of stub Ricardian contracts, like the beginnings of something, this will happen here, ... and then, but not finished. So there was a decision made that, well, we need to get rid of this because it's unclear what these mean. So sifting through, getting rid of a bunch of Ricardian contracts that aren't done, that was one change. And the other main change was resolving, I believe it was an inconsistency in the dispute resolution. So the Constitution has a big clause that basically says dispute resolution is going to be resolved by arbitrators working according to the rules of the ICC, which is the International Chamber of Commerce. There were some Ricardian contracts, and all these contracts are under the Constitution. Some of those contracts said, I think one of them might have had an old reference to the ECAF, the EOS Core Arbitration Forum, which is up and coming. It's in development, but by general consensus, not ready for prime time. And so you had this inconsistency. The Constitution says one thing, but this Ricardian contract over here, I don't remember exactly which one it was. Anyway, it was one Ricardian contract said, well, these disputes will be resolved by the EOS Core Arbitration Forum. Conflict, constitutional, the Constitution says this, contract says this, so a decision was made to delete the reference to the ECAF. And that's, in so many words, that's about the sum of the changes that took place.
Well said. Yeah, thank you. And can you talk a little bit more? So we saw that website come out for the ECAF, the arbitration forum, and you said it's still not quite ready for prime time. But so are they taking signups, or what's going on exactly with the arbitration?
The nominations are underway, and they're open nominations ongoing. There's the requirements for they're strong suggestions or qualifications for arbitration are posted on EOS Go forums, courtesy of you guys. I mean, the whole EOS Go forums is central to this project in so many ways, and that's just another one of them. So,
And you, Sam, have been part of that, helping us get stuff set up as well too. So thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, it's been a good ride on that for sure, and ongoing will be.
Yeah, it should be clear that Sam has been a vital part of EOS for the last 6 months. He's been working on a lot of different projects and whatnot. So can you sort of give a summary for everybody for the last 6 months? We've seen a lot change, a lot happen, and you've been around through all of it. Just go ahead and give us your overall thoughts.
Yeah, my overall thoughts are a sense of I'm doing what I can to maintain a sense of calm through launch, and to preserve as much open-mindedness and positive uncertainty about what's to come. Qualified optimism and a readiness for what's going to come next.
I love that phrase, positive uncertainty, folks. I like it. That's what we've been doing all along, I guess. Before you go, Sam, Bluejays has a special button he likes to hit once in a while.
Disco or hip hop there, Sam?
Let's do the disco.
Okay, let's go.
Oh yeah.
I actually can't hear it at all. So
our guests won't be able to hear it, but okay. It comes on the stream.
Okay.
Right. That's why we always look so foolish. We're normally great dancers, Sam, and you are too. So thank you.
Sam, I guess we'll see you next week.
Yep. All right.
Thank you, Sam.
All
right. See you.
Bye.
Yeah, folks, that was Sam Sapoznick, and a lot of folks know his name from the Telegram chats. He always has very thought-provoking, and he's been, like we mentioned, he's been working very hard behind the scenes on a lot of different projects, including with EOS Go on certain things. Just helps here and there with the forums, and he's an active poster on the forums as well. And I think a lot of folks in EOS are just very grateful to Sam. For all the work he's done.
Sam, I just like his rationale and the way he explains things. He's great. And of course, he's been part of our community for a long time. So I'm looking forward to actually meeting him in person. That'd be awesome.
I agree with that. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you, Sam. And we have Jose here, EOS Meso. He keeps flipping around. He's doing the flip dance.
Sorry, you guys. And hello, Sam. Is Sam still on?
Oh, he's out. He left. But yeah, did you want to meet him?
Oh, well, I've been chatting with him on the governance channel for months and months, and I was glad that you guys gave him a spot on the show. He's been a very outstanding, I would say, member of the community, and his efforts to contribute to governance have been noticed by many. So thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you. Very well said. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Jose, how's the volcano coming along there?
Oh man, I'm sad a little because some people lost their home, and seven persons I think have reported to have passed away. When we spoke last, I had not known this information, and the volcano is going off all the time. But yesterday it was more powerful eruption than usual, and some people lost their homes and their houses. So we're getting organized to do some relief efforts. But yes, that's very unfortunate.
That's terrible. Actually, I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it actually erupted. Yeah. So this is all breaking news here, and so just to recap for folks who are tuning in, you had shown us the volcano, and it's occasionally active, right? It's a volcano that sometimes.
It's almost always active, but it was extra active yesterday.
Yeah.
And yes, it became an emergency situation in the southwest of where I am.
Oh.
But there's I've seen some people already start to organize relief efforts. So I'll be joining that soon. It's one of the things that makes you think like, wow, I hope. We could set a goal maybe for 1 year from now, I don't know, to have a better way to transfer funds in an auditable fashion, because I was looking on the, GoFundMe and that kind of thing, but then you don't know the people that are asking for the funds, some guy in Miami asking for funds. And it's really something I wish we had already. So that you could confidently just send some money and then it will be on record what they did with it and that kind of thing. Yes, another reason why to be involved in EOS and making an effort to hopefully have this just an easier way to collaborate and have the good intentions of many people all over the world be translated to effective relief. So. Yes, maybe 1 year from now we can say we are proud to have built this.
Yeah, and Jose, just so you know, one of our block producers, Generous, is looking into that charity, building something for charity as well to outline exactly what you've mentioned in your requirement there. So
that's excellent. They're from Sydney, right?
Right. Good. Yes. Good memory.
Yes, the Australians. Hello, Australia.
They usually come on at the end of the show to close us out.
Yes, so I wanted to be on the show today with our tech team, but unfortunately, fortunately for EOS, they are working very hard on the security right now. I was just part of a security call initiated by I think Timothy Lewis, who was yesterday on the show, and they're working really hard. So I told them I would come on with you instead of bothering them for this. Hopefully at some point we can come back to EOS Go and you can see their face and they can be in a more relaxed mood to show the world who we are. But they're joining many other block producer candidates to make sure that, you know, there's a big responsibility to launch this network, and we don't want it to fail. So everyone is working really hard to make sure you know, we follow good procedures, and they're actually organizing an attack before someone else can.
Yeah.
So that we know who is ready to handle the attack. And so I think that's a very good practice, and we are all for it for EOS Mesoamerica.
Jose, is everybody okay with the volcano? Everybody you know and the team, and everybody doing all right?
Yes. It actually happened in the southern side of the volcano. We are, I am right now in Antigua, Guatemala, and this is on the more north and east of the volcano. So usually this happens this way. The volcano has a certain pattern, and we got rained a little ash yesterday, and some, you know, the roads will have to be cleared and that kind of thing. But yes, none of my family or friends were deeply affected. But yes, again, I say we are already, there's some clothing and food drives being organized, and once I get to the city later today, I will be joining the efforts.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for checking in with Jose. And so you said the team's doing well, and you guys are still working hard in the background too. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a very intense few days, and I think I kind of even want to shout out to the people I've seen on these calls working so hard, but I don't know if it's a proper thing to do. But I really want to mention those block producers that are there, you know, because some of them are absent. Of course, some of them are sleeping. I've been working other days, but yes, I think many that have been on the show are the ones that are really working hard. So that the people can know who to vote for. You know, I'm part of the thing I'm very glad to have been a part of is to know who is really, you know, launching this network and committed to it. And there's a bunch of people that are working really hard, and so that the large community of token holders can have their network, and it's a good network. But I don't know if it's a proper thing to do to actually just go and say these are the guys. But we, EOS Meso, we will publish who we are going to vote for, and large reason that we will vote for some of these people is because we have seen their efforts, you know, throughout these last months, and especially in this phase, we're seeing who is actually there, you know.
Yeah.
Good point. It's you know, as Sam brought it up in the past segment, it's kind of like the community knows who each other is and who to trust and everything like that. It's good that you've integrated yourself well, that you've been able to know who is who. So
yeah, and I hope we can communicate that effectively to token holders, because it would be unfortunate that you know, someone with I don't know, better publicity or more direct contact with the token holders will take their vote, and then the people who are really working and having the infrastructure set up and doing this, it's sort of a thankless job sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I want to thank them, is what I'm saying, you know.
And we would always give everyone the platform, and all the BPs who feel maybe that they're not represented, to come on the show. And you guys always have an open invite, and just we can work with your schedule and ours as well too.
Yes, every Monday, right? Or did you decide not to do it?
Well,
yesterday you were asking
No, I was just throwing that question out there just to see what Kevin said. You know, we have a lot of stuff coming up, and with the launch, and also we wanted to get the feedback from the community as well too.
Okay.
Oh, but whether we should keep on going or not, the Blue Jays?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, tonight's show will be a launch party show. We're going to be on again tonight, regular time. So,
yeah,
go ahead.
Excellent.
Yeah. Hey, Jose. So, what looking forward? What's next for you guys? I mean, I know you have a lot going on there. You know, both in the real world with the volcano, and then also, you know, next steps for the launch itself. Can you give us kind of your big picture for the next week or so, week to month?
Sure. Maybe for those that didn't watch the previous episodes, we are EOS Meso. We're from Mesoamerica. We've been on the show showcasing our large team of partners. Everyone you see on our site is a partner. They all have a piece of the block producer. We are a decentralized from inception. No one of our partners owns more than 10% actually, and that was kind of a weird coincidence because it kind of became a thing with the 10%, and we didn't know this, but when we wanted to create it, we knew that it was a better idea to have many people incentives aligned, because you know this is the nature of what we're trying to do, decentralize the power. So it didn't make sense to us to be like, oh, we're gonna have, you know, one investor or two investors, and you know, it didn't make sense. So it was a careful selection of media influencers, business leaders, law and finance experts, and of course the infrastructure people on the, you know, very able with computers and with experience handling, you know, some of our team members, they've been handling, I want to shout out to El Profe. You know, if you look at our webpage, eosmeso.io, or go Twitter, EOS Meso, or go to our Telegram chat, EOS Meso, you will see that El Profe is our head of infrastructure, and he's called the Prof. It's funny, he wasn't really a prof, but everyone's calling him the Prof of blockchain because he knew all about blockchain for a while, and he's been managing infrastructure for banks and utilities companies for his career, and he started fiddling with Bitcoin a few years ago, and then he started looking into all the different protocols, and so he's our head of infrastructure, and he is I wish he were on the show because he's also a very swell guy and funny. And also we have Estuardo Rodriguez, who you know in the developer community. He's been active for a while, and they're both leading the infrastructure effort. But also we have a 24/7 monitoring team so that they can go to rest sometimes, you know. And so yes, what's our plan for the next weeks? I will be in San Francisco, I think with you, right?
Right.
Yes, with us. We will see you there. Definitely.
Right. Can't wait for that.
And it's well, we'll be, I think the next month or so is going to be a challenge in the sense of determining what infrastructure exactly the block producers want to provide, because since it's a network, it's kind of important for it to be in equilibrium, I would say. We discovered that we were offering too much RAM, for example, compared to others, but too little speed compared to others. So right now it's a matter of configuring, okay, we need to amplify our speed, and maybe we will reduce our bandwidth to compare to others, or maybe not, maybe others will raise that. So that part is going to be an interesting exercise. And then I think the rest is we're also going to be collaborating in a disclosure standard, so that other block producers can just follow. We're working with EOS Real, hopefully, to come up with a disclosure standard so that whoever wants to be block producer knows like what they need to provide as public information and what not. critically, right? Because we don't also want to be putting people in danger or anything. So that's going to be interesting as well. And then I'm just looking forward to the apps coming out and how we can learn from some of them coming up, and how our team, that we also have software companies on our team that they can start to take the ideas we've been discussing for many years and actually building them. So that's gonna be awesome. Hello, Yves de la Rose. How are you?
He's here. I think he's still on China.
Hey, Jose. Hey, Jose. I like how you say my name, Yves de la Rose. First, I guess just before I say anything else, I really want to, my thoughts and prayers with the people in Antigua, Guatemala. Yesterday, Jose, you came on and you showed us the volcano and really didn't know how serious that was. So thoughts and prayers with everybody, you, your family, your friends, and everybody in the region.
Thank you. It's as I was saying to the guys, it's not unusual for the volcano to go off, but it is unusual for there to be damage to people. And when I was dancing to it, I didn't know it was going to happen. So I'm feeling a little, guilty about celebrating when this happened at the end. But as I said, we will be looking for the right place to give aid. I know of a place where we can donate food and clothing that I know they are good people to handle this. But I've been looking for where to just send some money to help, but I haven't found someone I can trust with that. And we're discussing how, like, in the future, we will for sure have a better way to do this and to make sure that our aid efforts go in the right direction, and we can quickly audit whether the promises made are coming true.
Of course, the accountability that becomes, I guess, available through blockchain will definitely help relief efforts like this, because it's sad to see that in times like these, people profit from others and people take advantage. I know that for myself, I've worked extensively with Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, and in situations like this, there's always people that try to benefit from that. Jose, if you have any information on relief efforts, please post it online. I'm sure that the community that we've seen in the last 6 to 9 months have come together on multiple occasions. So please post information, and
I will. I haven't already because as I said, I'm not confident yet that they're the proper people to handle it. But I'm reaching out to all the people I know to find out who is organizing an effort that can be relied on. And once I feel that the right people are doing it, I will let all of you know.
Thanks for that, Jose.
Thank you.
Yeah. And well, thank you very much. I mean, you certainly take the cake, I think, Jose. All weekend you brought amazing guests on. We had Arturo from Narcos, and then we had the group of you brought on 10 people total, I believe.
Jose's been on every single day, and when he's not on, he crashes the party anyway. So he's on all the time. It's a party with Jose.
You really.
Well, Kevin has the lights now, I think, because of my first appearance.
Right.
Yeah, I do. You're right, because you had that great lighting with your sound room. I'm not sure what it was you were in there, but yep.
Yes, the music studio. So I will let you guys go. I would want to say hello to all the people in Asia. I unfortunately don't know Chinese or Japanese or Korean.
You can say ni hao.
I can say ni hao, yes. Ni hao. Okay. And to everyone in the other side of the world, I hope you are enjoying the show, and to Bluejays and Kevin, great job, you guys. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon, eh?
Hey, you know what? Before you go, one quick disco just for good times. You ready? Let's do it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good disco group we got here.
Oh, man. I'm getting used to it now that I know. See, yesterday I had the practice knowing that there's no music. Now I don't care anymore. I'll just dance. Although Bluejays introduced the drop in the beat earlier today, you
like that?
Hip hop in disco. I sent you a prop. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Get the people to get the choice.
Bye, Jose. Thanks for coming on.
Bye, Jose.
Thank you very much. Yves de la Rose.
Yves de la Rose.
Right? You went from French to Spanish. There you go.
My name gets changed wherever I go. People have a really hard time. They just don't know, right? YVES. How do you spell that? And I mean, how do you pronounce that? Especially English-speaking world, people have no idea. And in China, it's
and you're interesting. And you're fully fluent in French, right, Yves?
Ouais, ma première langue c'est le français.
Oh, very good.
And I'm also fluent in Japanese. And in Japanese, my name is Ibu.
Is
Ibu.
it?
It means great samurai. So it's two characters. Yep. I for great, and then Bu for Bushido. Bushido no Bu, which is samurai.
And of course, I believe you said you're married to somebody from
I am, yes. My wife is Japanese. Yes, I spent 6 years in Japan, which is where I guess I started a link with Asia.
How are your actual samurai skills?
Terrible. Okay. Although the samurai spirit is strong within me, the sword skills, I do have a sword. This is an interesting story. It has nothing to do with EOS, but I'll share it. So when I wanted to ask my father-in-law at the time, who wasn't my father-in-law, for his daughter's hand in marriage, I prepared a big speech and I rehearsed it and everything. And in Japanese, you have the levels of formality when you speak. And typically you can either speak somebody at the same level, or you can raise them, or you can lower them, or you can lower yourself, raise them. So anyways, there's all these combinations. And in order to ask for his daughter's hand in marriage, you know, I lowered myself and I raised him, and I prepared this big speech, and I got to his place and I sat Seiza style. So Seiza style, when you're on your knees, whatever. I made a big speech and I bowed and everything. And he started crying and he was so happy. He offered me a samurai sword.
Oh my gosh.
And so I have a samurai sword now at home that comes from my father, who got it from somewhere a long time ago. And he asked me to protect his daughter.
Wow.
So I have a samurai sword in my living room now.
And you have to learn how to use it.
I have, yeah. Well, but if you show up in my place and I pull a samurai sword, even though I don't know how to use it, yeah, I don't think you're not doing anything. I'm pretty sure you're backing off.
You can come to Florida and get some watermelons. You can try to cut some watermelons.
Like a long blade. Yeah, I could try. That's anyway.
It's good.
Side story. So now you guys know that I'm afraid of heights, and I have a samurai sword in my living room.
Well, we didn't know about the heights thing. When did that come out?
Oh, that was yesterday.
So was it?
So you just no, actually both of you then just kind of confessed that you're not watching the vlog. So in the vlog, one of the things is I'm living at Martin's place right now, our ambassador in China, and he's on the 28th floor. And I confessed I did one of my vlogs on the balcony, and I'm scared of heights. So just stepping out on the balcony the first few days, it was pretty scary.
Oh, that's right. You're airing out your underwear and stuff like that.
Yes, there you go. Now you're.
You brought us out there as well, and yeah, it was dark out there, but
yeah, it was.
What's going on around there?
Today's been a very busy day. So today we went out and we scouted future locations for co-working spaces. So one of the ideas is that at EOS Nation, like I said before, we really want to be the educational hub, and we want to have a physical location in China so that later on down the line, we're able to host some permanent meetups there. We're able to host some events, some code camps, just basically learn about the blockchain, learn about EOS, maybe even further, develop some dApps or do some kind of hackathons. So I went to look at spaces today, and we found a co-working space that seems like it's gonna fit our needs. And so we started that process, and it's pretty cool. So if you're following along in the EOS Nation channels, I posted some pictures in there, and tomorrow's vlog you'll be able to see a video from there.
Is it the Telegram EOS Nation channel is the best for folks to follow along?
That would be the best place. I believe that everything is also being reshared, retweeted on Twitter, reshared on Facebook. But the Telegram right now is the easiest spot. And then we have our YouTube channel where I do my vlog, where you'd be able to follow up as well.
Very good. Yves, what do you think of the progress of what's been going on? I know you're mostly out there trying to connect with the community, but from a launch perspective, what do you know?
So I guess, first of all, what's been happening, I think it was Kevin from EOS New York that said it the other day when he was on. What's been happening in the last 8 months, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've been a part of really terrific projects, of global projects before, but I've never seen something of this magnitude. And just seeing everybody come together especially in the last couple of days with everything that's been happening. I've been a part of everything, and so I am doing the community outreach, but I'm also doing all the governance. So big shout out to Sam, who was here, I think 3 guests ago. That guy never sleeps. So basically, I'm always on, he's always on, and we've got a couple of other folks. There's also Todor. I want to give a shout out to Todor. So Sam and Todor are just members of the community. They don't belong to any BPs. As far as I know, they don't have any other interest other than just making this community better. And so we've just seen in the last couple of months tremendous get-together from the community. So it's just been incredible. And now in the last week or so, we've seen this amplify where people are really up 24/7. Yeah. And just like you guys are, you go to bed, you sleep for a couple of hours, you wake up and you're back at it again. And there's really, it's just a passion of EOS that's driving everybody at this point, because it's certainly not sleep or rest. And it's a fascinating thing to see. So from my perspective, the progress in EOS right now is just terrific. We've seen, I believe it's 8 or 9 snapshots being taken and cross-referenced, and all the data is the general consensus is that it's pretty good. It's certified. There's no errors. And now we're in the phase where we're just waiting to start the boot process. And I think this was mentioned before. There were a lot of back and forth between how many boot process there will be, which boot process will it be, et cetera, et cetera. And we've just seen everybody come together, and we are potentially, if not minutes, but hours away from the official boot launch. And then how long will that take? I don't know. I don't want to speculate because the idea is we need to get it right. So I know that from our end, our CTO has been working day and night to make sure that everything is secure. So he's been very, very active in that. And so we talk after this, I talk with him again, and he catches us up on that part of things. And then on the governance part of things, I've been in the channels to try and get the constitution adopted, to get all the final changes that Sam was talking about earlier. We had a couple of things. Another thing that he mentioned, something very trivial, the tokens were called CIS before, and the community wanted them to change them to EOS. Super, super simple thing, but you had to go through every single repo to make sure that you changed from CIS to EOS. And instead of doing a Control F, replace all, the idea was really to go one by one by one. So it's a lot of very trivial, that seems like trivial work, but it takes a lot of time. And I've just seen everybody just contribute. It's just been an amazing experience. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I've been a part of some really amazing projects.
It's almost like a social experiment that has gone on here for the last 6 months or so. Actually, a longer period, obviously, but...
Yeah, but you've seen, I mean, people have been talking about, obviously some people want to see this succeed and some people want to see this fail. I'm on the side of people that want to see this succeed. And throughout this journey, I've met some amazing people. And I actually just want to showcase one person who's beside me, who's probably really shy. So a couple, you guys met Martin last night, so I'm going to show you guys Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom. Tom can't hear you right now because I got the headphones, but Tom has been advising us in China. He's been doing tremendous work. Tom has been napping during daytime because he hasn't been sleeping at nighttime, because he's been helping us prepare all the activities and all the material that we're preparing in China.
Thanks, Tom, for all you do.
大家好，我是汤姆，是中国的大使。Hi everybody, I am one ambassador, not officially in China. Hi.
Great. Yeah. Can you tell him thank you for us, Yves, since he can't hear us?
Yeah, thank you. They say thank you. They say thank you. So it's been amazing to be part of this and to see all the progress that's happened, and to see as well people from different cultures, from different parts of the world in different time zones come together and reach consensus on truly breaking type of technologies and we've never seen this before. There's no precedent.
Right. Yeah, and the distribution list is filled with people from all around the world and from different levels of experience and tech skills and all kinds of stuff. Looking forward to see what we can do together as a community, to be sure.
Yeah. And even just the registration. I mean, up until a week ago, we had 40% registration, and people were freaking out with reason. But the idea was, well, most likely all of these tokens are held in exchanges. The exchanges are going to be waiting until the very last minute to do their snap, et cetera, et cetera. And we've seen that we're at 99.6% registration.
Oh, yeah, 99.6. Wow.
That's amazing. Yeah. So I think it's 4 million tokens out of 1 billion that are unregistered. But then we've already seen people in the channels come about and say, hey, I forgot to register my tokens. What can I do? And so right now it's just giving out information to people. And in this case, if you're listening in, you have not registered your tokens, you will be able to do so at a later date. So your tokens are not lost.
Cool.
Very nice.
Thanks for checking in, Ease.
Yeah. So so what's next for us? We're preparing the event for tomorrow. So we also went today and we prepared the event. We're going to be hopefully by then. So we kind of timed it. We didn't want to do our event. A lot of the launch parties were on the 3rd. We decided let's put our launch party on the 5th. That way, if there's anything, either it'll coincide with or it'll be right before, right after. Either way, we'll be able to celebrate. So we've been preparing that tonight. We have over 100 registrations so far. Last time we were in Shanghai, we had 40 people register, about 200 show up. The space that we have can accommodate perhaps 300 or 400 people. We hope that 300 people show up. That would be amazing.
Wow.
And we have a spot reserved for you guys. I don't know if you've confirmed yet. I still haven't got a formal confirmation.
We're just trying to get through this launch party, and then we'll figure it out.
So if you're available, we've reserved the spot at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock a.m.
tomorrow.
And then we'd have so tomorrow, June 5th, 9 o'clock a.m. for you guys. We'd be live, we'd put you on screen, and the idea would be just to give you, for you guys to give us a recap, and to our Chinese audience, hopefully 300 or 400 people listening in, your impressions, because you've been through this from the very beginning. So you guys have a particular insight and a particular, you come from a particular place when you can give some information out to the public.
Yeah, I'll confirm. I know that for sure. I think it sounds amazing. I know Bluejays needs a couple energy drinks before he's ready, but hopefully he'll make it too. But yeah, I mean, it would be incredible to meet everybody there. And thank you for setting that up too. That's an awesome event. It sounds like.
It should be really good. The space today looks amazing. It's going to be at a startup bootcamp place. So it's an incubator hub all around the world. This is their Chengdu location. So they innovate projects throughout the world, different projects, and they've built a lot of applications and built a bunch of different programs and projects. And so we're going to be hosting in the Chengdu location. We were offered this place. It's an amazing place, and it should really facilitate exchanges between people there. We already have some people that have confirmed that are either really, really big into EOS, and we've got some people that are just new into blockchain. So again, just like EOS Nation always does, we kind of start from the beginning and go all the way to the end.
Eve, we know you guys are doing a lot out in Asia. What are you guys doing back in Canada, which is your home base? And I know you had a teammate speak about it yesterday, but just give a quick overview of what you're doing there.
Sure. For the last 2 weeks, our co-founder Stefan was out in the west part of Canada. So he did Vancouver, he did some events out there, and then he did, I believe, 3 in Calgary and 3 in Edmonton. I might be wrong on those numbers, but it was Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton. At the same time, we had 2 of our co-founders, Lenny and Vincent, who were doing the eastern part of Canada. And so they did Montreal, Quebec City, Trois-Rivières, and Ottawa. So they did events in French for our French population up there. And a week earlier, we had Thomas Cox in Toronto for back-to-back events. And so we had our co-founder, Daniel, that was there at Ryerson University, Waterloo University, and York University. And that was in partnership with EOS Index, Jan from EOS Index, and Liam, who is part of EOS 42. So we pretty much covered as much as possible we could Canada. We have not gotten to the prairies yet. We will be coming to you guys at the prairies at some point.
Cool. And Thomas did mention to me that he had a great time in Toronto and he was very impressed. So
it was really good, and it was good to connect with Thomas. I mean, it's one of those things. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but I've been working with Thomas for such a long time in governance, and then to finally meet him,
right?
I was kind of awestruck. Like I had a little crush on him. Like, hey, you know, I've been working with this person. I'd imagine it's the same thing when you guys met Dan in Blacksburg, right? So you're looking at this person's work, and you're working, and you're trying to be a part of this project, and finally you meet this person.
Yeah,
it's just a person. Thomas is just a guy. So Thomas, you're awesome, but you're just a guy.
Yeah.
But it's still that vibe, that aura, and kind of all that comes with it. It was an amazing experience Thomas was amazing. He spoke. He was able to answer all the questions. He was able to further the knowledge and kind of his way with people, his way with words. He's very, very eloquent. It was an amazing experience.
That's a good word for Thomas. Eloquent, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way that he can explain the concepts, the way that he can explain governance, the way that he can explain the governed blockchain, and just take everybody a little further along. Just like when Dan, when you try to challenge Dan, oftentimes he'll answer with a question, and he'll answer, well, what if in this case then the roles were opposite? And it makes you think, oh yeah, maybe I'm looking at it from a certain perspective, and if I looked at it from the other way, I'd see things differently. And Thomas does something very similar, and it's amazing to watch in action live.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was half as eloquent as Thomas, I would have a greater podcasting career. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys are set. You guys have been doing this for such a long time. You guys provide such an amazing service. And I want to thank you from everybody at EOS Nation, but as well everybody in the community. You guys provide such an amazing, you're such an amazing resource. You provide such an amazing, what's the word I'm looking for? A resource, I guess, yeah, for the community to be able to learn about EOS, and you always, remain neutral, and you're just putting information out there. As far as I know, you're out there with everybody, so everybody gets a chance to participate. And we've seen that the last couple of days. Do you have a tally on how many people have been live? Like how many groups?
Oh yeah, probably at least 40 or 50, right, Kevin?
Oh yeah, we have to go back and count them up, and yeah, I guess probably 40, 50, yeah.
40, 50
like
teams.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just amazing how you have a platform where people can really learn a lot in a very short period of time, and you give that platform up to everybody. Basically, you're open to the public. That's great. It's a very decentralized fashion in a way, right? The platform belongs to everybody, and you guys just are there moderating it.
Right.
I think it's just
great. That's exactly what we've been thinking about for our future, how we do that.
Hello, Han.
Hello.
Hey, Han.
I met Han in Seoul, I think. Yeah, I met you in Seoul.
I'm in Seoul. Hey, Kev.
Nice.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, man. Yeah, I met you as well. Good to see you. Yeah, and you're with NodeONE in Seoul, South Korea.
Yes, Han from EOS NodeONE, based in Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah, and you actually you helped us out. You gave us a ride back to the hotel when we were there. We were we'd had some dinner.
It was so short. Yeah,
it was. I know.
I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and it already feels like month or two ago. Time so quick and crazy.
Time goes by so quickly.
Yeah, I met Kev in Seoul, and then I drove him back home, to the Airbnb he was staying, and then right after that night, I flew over to Shanghai to meet EOS Gravity folks. And then I think
the crazy conference that had like 1,000 or 1,200 people attend.
Yeah, it's so big. China, everything is so big.
Everything is big.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna give over my spot. Han, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I hope we meet again in the future. Seoul was amazing. You guys really have it going on down there.
All right. I see you, Yves.
Thanks, Yves. Thanks for checking in.
China.
Thanks, Yves.
Thank you, Bluejays. Yeah, cheers. Thank you, Kevin. See you tomorrow morning, or I guess my tomorrow morning, or my tomorrow night, your tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yep. See you then.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Han.
Yeah. Hello.
And we actually, go ahead.
No.
Well, we haven't formally met you before on the show, and the community hasn't either. So let's hear a little bit more about you and NodeONE in South Korea.
Okay, so NodeONE is a BlockRooters candidate that is founded in February, and actually it was I think one of the 3 earliest candidate from Korea out of 7 candidates that is from Korea. And then we are a startup, and we are global. So 1 from the US, and then 1 from China, and then 5 from Korea. And then, that's where we are right now. And then team, actually, there's 2, me and Loam, this guy who studies blockchain very deeply from very early days on. And we met in one of the first EOS meetup, and we ended up deciding that we're going to do BP together. And then we ended up building the team within like 5 weeks, 7 people. So it was a quite quick journey so far. And then we ended up having one of the biggest, actually the biggest Telegram community among EOS BP candidates. So I think it's been a quite a journey riding.
Yeah, and it's great to to sort of get to know you a little bit better, because you have been so active behind the scenes, but now we're starting to see more and more from NodeONE.
Mm-hmm.
What are your long-term? Go ahead, Bluejays. Yeah.
Oh, I just want to say hi, Han. This is Bluejays here. I had a question for you. What is the reason that you want to be a block producer candidate?
Actually, okay, so there's a long story. So actually, my background is from startup incubation and acceleration in BC. In 2012, it's how many years? So 6 years ago, I ended up becoming a founding member of one of the biggest early stage startup fund called the DCAM. It's $500 million, and then back then nobody knows about Bitcoin, and then I ended up the fund. We ended up investing the first Korean crypto exchange called Corbett. I think some of you guys might know Corbett. Anyway, so it was the first crypto exchange in 2013, and then it was just acquired by one of the biggest game company called the Nexon at $95 million. So anyway, so that's pretty much when I first invested in crypto, and then unfortunately I sold everything, and when it hit 2000, and then it was last year when it hit 5,000. That's when I pretty much decided, oh my God, the 2018-19 is going to be all crypto. That's how I decided myself to jump into the scene, and I ended up meeting EOS when Brock Pierce visited Korea in a later half of the year, and then I started. I've gone through all the articles that Dan Larimer has written, and all the seeing all the it's not only the technical aspect, it's a philosophy, and then it's a social implications. It's not about. I thought it was all crypto is all speculation, but then it's actually speculation. No, it's a socio-structural transformation in disguise of speculation. That's how I found it. And then there's so much possibilities we can achieve. This, crypto. EOS platform. So that's how we, it fundamentally shifts how we interact. Between people. Yeah.
And of course,
so I'm fascinated. Yeah.
And of course, Dan Larimer, who's created Steemit and also BitShares, has learned this social aspect from his past projects. So it may not have existed as it is now in EOS as it did in Steemit and BitShares. So he has brought the lessons that he's learned.
Yeah, it's very how do I say? Because English is not my first language, so I have to think about words. Anyway, how it is different, how it's going to make a shift in how we interact is that I think this concept of corporate becomes obsolete, I think, because in a corporate world, there's a shareholders, there's employees, and there's customers, and they all have a different interest motives, right? So because shareholders, they want to pay less, and then they want their employees to work more, while their employees want to get paid more, while they want to work less. And then their customers, they want to pay less, and then they want to extract as much value as possible, right? But then, for example, say, I think Dan Larimer said this. We can imagine a Apple company, we buying an iPhone from Apple, and then we buy iPhone not with the USD currency, but we buy iPhone with the Apple stock instead of the USD currency. And then the Apple employees, they get paid by Apple stock. it fundamentally shifts all the dynamics because it puts everybody on the same boat. So it's a total game changer. I mean, for me, this concept of centralization or decentralization, I think it's all it's the people. I think centralization or decentralization is relevant in. It is different for different industries. So I think, but then is economic implication of token economy. That's how we where we see the changes coming from. And then EOS is not just it's not Steam. Steam is only for blogging and content industry, but then EOS is it can go everywhere, all the industries.
Yeah. So
that's how I see is crazy. And then I just want to be a part of it, and then seeing the 30%, even 30%, 40%, all the transactions of EOS is happening in Korea. So I thought, oh, there's a bet. So we're gonna be a part of that, making big change in the world while we still making money. So we said, why not? It's a you win. We make money while we help world. So that's how we ended up doing this. Yeah.
And that's why I keep telling Bluejays too. It's South Korea. I just felt the level of passion and investment and interest was different. It was higher in South Korea than we had really experienced in the Western Hemisphere, where we are. So can you tell us where can folks keep up with NodeONE? Where can people learn more?
Where? So mostly, so far we've been communicating mostly on our Korean Telegram because our the first priority audience we think is in Korea. But then I think we need to build some community in China and then also English-speaking countries as well. But for now, there's nothing much in English. But then we have done something in English in EOS Go forums. We've been suggesting some of the proposals for how dApps should issue their airdrops to the community, that kind of thing. There's some of the articles or suggestions that he posted on EOS Go, but then nothing much for English community. We gotta begin, and then it'd be lovely if any of the listeners here could help us raising awareness about NodeONE.
Yeah, absolutely. And your website, what is your website?
It's a EOSNodeONE.io.
EOSNodeONE.io.
Great.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Thanks, Han. It was a pleasure having you on, and nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Great to see you again. Yeah.
Thank you, Kev. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Han. And good luck in the coming couple weeks and beyond, of course, and we'll be seeing you more.
Yeah. I think I'm going to fly out to Tulip Conference tomorrow.
Wow.
That sounds awesome. So we'll be seeing you next week then. This coming week.
Okay.
This week.
All right.
Thanks, Han. See you there. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And of course, Kevin, for us, a trip to San Francisco is not as taxing as it is coming from all the way in Korea. So, wow.
Yeah, I mean, he must be leaving probably pretty soon, right? I mean, or today or tomorrow, I would think, to arrive. Because I guess let's see, is he going backwards in time? No, he'll be going forward in time, I believe. So he is going backwards. So he could leave pretty much on Wednesday from Korea and then land still in Wednesday around the same time, possibly, in the United States, because he's going back to the time zones. And like you said, follow the sun, right, Bluejays? We've been doing that on the show and that kind of thing. And we actually have WTZ coming up, Bluejays. They've been streaming the show to the Chinese community. They're helping us out. And they also worked very hard to build the community in China and around the world, just to link the communities together. And hey,
Xuan.
Hi, Bluejays. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Xuan. Yes, you sound good. Thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. Yes. How is the show going so far?
It's going great.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. We've seen a lot of folks. We've met people from all around the world, and you had a show yesterday as well, right?
Oh yeah, it's the after party. It went pretty well as well. Actually, we are actually streaming this show right now, like with a voiceover on a Chinese website called Bilibili, and yeah, that has received a lot of attention too. And we did that yesterday as well. And after that, we did an after party. Which brings some more BPs. I believe there are about 30 on there. And also, I believe you guys were there as well. And yep. Thomas Cox and and some dApp developers. And yeah, that was a great after party.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I was going to say, I would like to give a special hello to the Chinese community watching right now, because like you said, you're streaming us right now to the Chinese community and providing translation as well, which is wonderful. We're very appreciative of that. Thank you. Go ahead, Blue.
No problem.
Yeah. Hi, everybody from China. Thanks for watching, and go EOS, and keep on following us. And thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, and just to talk more about EOS Go for just a second, we are a neutral community organization. We are unofficial. We're not related to Block One or anybody. We're completely independent, and we're very proud of it. And we're not running for Block Producer. We're just trying to help provide information and bring the community together. And here I just see Jialin joined us as well.
Hey guys, this is Jialin Li from EOS WTZ. Hi, nice to see you guys.
Jialin, nice to see you again.
Thank you. Yeah. And what's been going on for you guys? So what is new in EOS? Can you give us an update from your end?
Yes, of course. So our tech team has been actively participating in the BIOS boot team, and yeah, we've been following around and in the group. I believe Dan Larimer joined the group sometimes yesterday, and that was a really great thing for us, like seeing the BM himself giving suggestions to all of us. It was he offered many great helps. I think the launch is gonna be successful.
That's awesome. Yeah, and which group was it that he joined? That you said?
It's a BIOS launch.
Oh yes,
BIOS
okay.
Launch on the Telegram. Yes.
And we keep hearing about how it's kind of quiet right now. There's testing going on, validating behind the scenes. Can you give kind of an inside look as to how that's all going and what it looks like?
Oh yeah, sure. So basically, we finished the very first phase of the launch. They are running the testnet right now, but you cannot connect to it. They are still testing all the functionalities, verifying all the snapshots. But the network is running right now. So yeah, that's good news.
Good. That's great to hear. And Jialin, excuse me, sorry guys, my voice starting to lose my voice here. Wow, I guess we've been talking too much the past few days, but
4 days, yeah. Launching party, right?
Launch party. Hey, do you guys like to do disco or do you like hip hop?
Disco.
Disco. Okay. Bluejays has a button for us, and we can dance if you want, guys. So we can't actually hear the music through our end, but the stream can hear the music through their end. So
nice.
We can do another one later. Don't worry about it. But, and can you talk more about WTZ as well and describe for the community how you guys are working to bring everybody together and what initiatives and community support projects you have?
Xuan, you want to talk about it?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. So basically, WTZ, EOS WTZ is operated by WTZ Blockchain Academy, which was established last November. But we have been a strong supporter of EOS. We've been promoting EOS ever since our beginning. And we have accumulated around 200,000 followers across all our channels. Yeah, we're pretty big in China. And since we have been one of the early supporters of EOS, we decided that yeah, why not run for blog producer candidates? So because we got a lot of community members supporting us, so yeah, ever since then, we've been working on multiple projects. We have joined the testnet, the Scholar testnet. We also ran our own testnet, which has university student organizations producing blogs on it. We also provide support to those blockchain research organizations by university students. We've been holding a lot of meetups and online video interviews with other BPs and also discussions with other BPs as well. You can check that out on our YouTube channel.
Thanks for all that you guys do.
Yeah, so we are also helping other BPs to create their WeChat public account. So you guys know the practice. So we have been working with EOS New York and EOS Nation working on that. Actually, Bluejay, I think you just sent your WeChat account to Xueyuan yesterday.
Right.
So our founder posted on our account. I assume that you will receive a lot of invite today.
Yeah. and I've been heard that I should show it on my screen.
Yeah, guys, if you use WeChat, just scan
Kevin,
it.
you want to show yours? There you go. It's not in focus, but there you go.
Is that your picture in the middle of the
yeah, so that's a QR code for WeChat.
Okay.
It's how you add each other.
Yeah. And we have a lot of folks now from the Telegram channels are trying to join WeChat and get more involved. Bluejays is a little ahead of me. I have it on my computer, but not my phone right now. So I need to catch up to you, Bluejays.
Yeah, I can show you how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, also,
and I think, and I think you guys need a WeChat public account as well, because that's where, you publish articles, videos on WeChat.
Yeah, and maybe you can show us how to do that, Xueyuan?
Yeah. We'll definitely.
Yeah, offline, we will do that offline. It's kind of complicated.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we are helping all the BPs and other organizations outside China to create it for them. So we created 4 already, and we are going to create multiple in the following days.
Okay. That's great. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
So sorry, we have been working hard with EOS Go launch party, the after party. So we have been working hard on that. Actually, it's going to be live very soon. So for today, we post this on our Chinese platform. I think yesterday. So yesterday's session have 700,000 views already.
Wow, really?
So, yeah.
Bluejays, you're like a pop star in China. You're famous. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. That's incredible.
Yes. So if it is okay, can I post a link on the chat, to the after party, so that if your audience is curious about that after the show ended,
post it up here and we can get it up on the chat, definitely. And it's happening now. Soon after this show ends, you guys will go live on your after party, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the idea of the after party is just quick introduction about all the BP outside China. So to give a Chinese audience an experience that, understanding about what they are doing and what they did before. So, because even though we did interview for about 10 BPs outside China and post on our public account, I don't think everyone watched that, and I think and it's not enough. Only 10, right? So this time we have, I think, around 20 BPs on our show altogether. Even though each of them have 5 minutes, it's a good time just to present themselves. We also have simultaneous translation on live, so that the Chinese audience will know that what they are talking about.
That sounds great. Yeah, and we also enjoy it when we hear from the Chinese community as much as possible. So. Anyone who's not already on WeChat should start that process, hopefully. And thank you to the Chinese community who are able to come on Telegram. I know it's hard sometimes, but we really appreciate meeting everybody And for WTZ, what should we know about you guys going forward? What kind of projects should the community try to keep up with? You guys had the launch party coming up, definitely. And what else do you guys have after that?
Yes, of course. We are currently seeking to provide support for Qingtai, which is a token lease platform. It's a nonprofit running on EOS. We think it is a very important platform to have. It's definitely necessary for all the app developers. And also we are sending a team to Hong Kong EOS Hackathon, a team of 4 coming from our community members. They are very experienced technically. Some of them come from Tsinghua University, and one of them is working for Microsoft as software engineer. So yeah, our team is gonna develop a social media platform in the hackathon. So yeah, this is something exciting.
Oh, very nice.
Wow, there's a lot going on. Because you have a teams based, you have a very large team. And where's the primary location for EOS WTZ?
So basically, we are based in Nanjing, China, which is just 2 hours drive from Shanghai, and also 2 hours drive from Hangzhou. So yeah, it's at the technical innovation hub of China. A lot of people working on blockchains and EOS in that area. So yeah, that's a great place, to do the block producer candidate thing. Yes,
absolutely. Seems like it's a hub area, as we've talked about before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
Thank you guys for checking in. We appreciate so much that what you do for EOS Go, sharing our knowledge, but also the EOS community. And we're proud to have you as part of the community.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
And also, I think Kevin, I have been talking with Bluejay as well. So if you guys want to have an interview with us, we would like to have you guys on our show.
We would be honored. Yeah.
It will be longer compared to yesterday. I know that yesterday we only have 5 minutes, but next one we could do 30 minutes.
That sounds great.
30 minutes. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. You better start writing things down, Bluejays. Yeah, that sounds awesome, guys. Yeah, let us know, and we'd like to come on as soon as we can. It'd be great.
Yeah. Let's keep in touch.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jillian and Shuan.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, Kevin, 30 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Yep. What are you going to talk about for 30 minutes, Bluejays? Huh? Talk about your man cave sign? Are you?
I might turn it off. I don't know.
For that interview?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we forgot. A little bit more serious,
Well, we forgot to ask him to do the disco again. We did the first one, but that's the thing. It's hard for the folks who are in the interview like this. We can't hear the music, right? So unless we explain that beforehand, if we just start doing the disco, we look ridiculous because we can't actually hear anything.
You're doing the robot.
Oh yeah, the robot disco. Look, there's Craig from BlockSmith. Speaking of disco. There he is.
Yeah. Craig doesn't look like he had a good sleep last night.
I got some. Yeah, I'm okay. I got some.
How you doing this morning?
I'm good. I've been on video chats all morning, and yeah. So it's been. We had first was the security auditing meetup, which was sort of an attempt that's just been created to try to do penetration and attack testing on all the nodes, and then give reporting and have some kind of a document that demonstrates a best practices for securing your system. And then went right from that into the launch group meeting where everyone is discussing validation still. And the second I walked out, there was some discussion about how we're going. So some of the things that we have trouble testing are, does the system work right when we hit 15% and elected block producers become producers, and then we can unstake our tokens? Does the unstaking work? Well, the only way to test that is to do it. And so that's not a good way to go, right? Because if it doesn't work, then we're like, oh, now what? So we're in the process of building out what we need to do to give that some flesh and run through those cases. So it looks like perhaps Ghostbusters will be, we're going to do a new Genesis, and then at the point where, and this is just speculation on my part, I'm just giving you what I believe is what's happening. The Ghostbusters guys, or the candidate team, would bring up a node, the BIOS node, get it to the point of where it does everything and then is ready to resign, but would not resign. And then this network would be paused and forked for the Ghostbusters guys, who would then inject fake accounts and trigger some of the functionality that'll happen when we hit these tolerances. And then they'll run through all of that, and then we'll go back again while we're simultaneously doing the other forms of validation, the chain validation and the user acceptance testing on all the other features. So it's moving forward. But you know, there's a I mean, the group right now has 50 or 60 people in it. So, you know, it takes time, and everybody has to sleep, and everybody has to talk. And so, you know, we're moving forward. In my view, everything's going really, really well. You know, there's a compressing and a focusing of everything that's tightens it for all of us. So there's a lot of pressure on everyone, but you know, things are moving forward. So,
and I feel like things are moving forward. So that's all that really matters. And it doesn't matter how quick it moves forward, as long as it just keeps moving forward. I mean, people don't want it to take weeks, but people also, you know, and a lot of people have said a couple days, 3-4 days, maybe if it extends. And what's more important is the security and that it launches properly.
Yeah. You know, this is a long tail thing. We're looking years ahead here in terms of, you know, 10,000 foot view. It's important that we take as much time as it takes. I wouldn't put a number on it. I don't care. I don't care if it's 6 months, as long as when it goes live, it doesn't blow up. We don't lose half of our block producers to attacks, or some of the core mechanics just don't work right. You know, something that would endanger the reputation of the chain live is much different than just taking a while to do it right. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I like that opinion.
None of the block producers seem in a particular hurry. I mean, there is pressure to move forward for sure. There's a lot of that pressure. The ball is rolling, but you know, a lot of people are working towards, you know, making sure we're doing the steps before the ball rolls too much more. So,
yeah,
progress every day so far.
Yeah,
very nice. Okay, thank you for the update. I mean, we're just actually, before you came on, we were talking about how we enjoyed the way you were explaining to folks the slippery rocks analogy, right? You have to be very careful trying to navigate those rocks, otherwise, and you can't go back once the chain is up and going. You know, you mentioned even if we get to a 14% activation, there may still be a necessity to just scrap the chain and start over.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, we would hope very much that by the time we get there, everything is fine. And of course, by that point, likely, if there are problems waiting, they'd be waiting at the 15%. So, but that's what's being discussed right now on the call, is how to deal with those particular mechanics that we can't test on the chain before 15%. So yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think we'll have to scrap a chain at 14%, but scrapping a chain at 14% is much better than having a chain at 15.0001% and having catastrophic problems be discovered. So.
I agree with that. Yeah. We have to say a quick hello to Shah as well. Hey, Shah.
Hey, Shah. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. What's going on over there? What are you up to?
It's early here, and I was up really late last night. So like everyone that's working hard on this, I think we're all, working late hours. But just to piggyback on what Craig just said, I woke up to validation conference call, and the fact that people have like checked their egos at the door really showed today. I mean, more so than any other day that I've seen. And I think everyone's been kind of tiptoeing around, you know, the questions on the EOS Go launch party because of these kind of like, you know, differing ideal factions within the community. And I don't think anyone's really kind of saying much about, you know, the fact that there were, you know, people that really had different views on how this should move forward, and people didn't want to, you know, create FUD and alarm people. But today was really the first day. It really seems like everyone is kind of like, okay, we're making this happen together, you know?
Right, and it's good. I like that statement you said. You know, people are checking their egos at the door, and it's today more than any other day. It's probably because the pressure is on, and we need to get things done.
More people are doing that. I wouldn't say that everyone is doing.
Maybe not everyone. Yeah, but and then we're also seeing, like, I don't know. Today I feel like more so than it's been interesting to watch the Asian community get engaged with the Western community too. I think it started with the BIOS group. A lot of Asian groups, you know, all of a sudden in the middle of last week, you know, started showing up to those daily practices, those were fantastic in the sense that if anything, they were this regular schedule where every day we were doing 1 to 2 boot groups, and more groups tended to join every day as we kept going. It was kind of the schedule. People knew and were inviting other people. And then all of a sudden in the middle of last week, we saw, you know, like 20 Chinese groups popping up, you know, at a time, and or actually all popped up at one time, and started getting involved. And then now they're on all of the conference calls that we're doing, like the validation one and some of the other ones, and they're contributing. We're stopping the conversation so that everything gets translated. It's really beautiful to see, actually.
Yeah, we've had translations, real-time Mandarin translations for probably close to 2 weeks every day on the EOS BIOS morning launches. So it's really been great. There've been big groups and people getting involved and helping. You know, there's a couple of key players who are completely fluent both ways and highly technical. Defang of EOS Asia is a clear leader in that. He's a really extraordinary guy and has bridged that for us very much. And it's amazing how much more comfortable you feel with a bunch of people that you can't communicate with, that you're sort of like, you want to work with, but you're kind of scared because you don't know what they're thinking and they don't know what you're thinking. And there's this whole, like, what are the Chinese going to do? Right. As soon as the translations kick in, you get it. It's like, oh, okay. They're just trying to work with us. Right. Like, good. That's a relief.
They're not diametrically really opposed. Oh, wow. What a
not at all. Right. They're just another bunch of humans who have a lot of the same ideas. You know, there's some cultural differences and you know, some different shades of the ideas, but you know, there's a lot more synergy of ideas than opposition, for sure, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I like. And can you give us kind of an inside look into what those calls are like? You talked about 60 people on one call, video conference, I guess, all working together. What is that like? I mean, is there a lot of Yeah,
most people are very respectful and very quiet. It's really good. Usually there's just a few people talking, and people really try to take turns, and it's extraordinary. You know, occasionally someone will not mute their mic, and if the guy who created the Zoom doesn't notice it, and like there was a guy taking a shower.
That never happens though.
He was literally taking a shower with his phone, like while the call is going on, and because he didn't mute it, we hear it, and that pops up his face, and you know,
the cleanest block producer candidate.
Exactly. So you know, but for the most part, it's extremely productive. You know, it's impressive. It's hard to describe, I guess.
Sam alluded to it earlier about how people have begun to know each other well. So, and that's what happens in a community, right? We know who to trust. We know who to go to for certain things. And I guess it's just going to keep on going. I think Craig and I had this conversation before about the community's not going anywhere, right? In a year's time, it's probably going to be the same bunch of us talking back and forth, and yeah.
With a lot more people added on, though, as well.
Right. Exactly.
And these right now are the good old days, as we've talked about before. You know, a small community, we all know each other pretty well. We all see each other at the Tulip Conference. You know, that'll be fun. A couple years from now, we have thousands and thousands of folks probably in the community, and we'll be struggling to keep our Rolodex, you know, small enough that we can actually flip through it. But
yeah.
Shah, have you been in these calls as well, Shah? What have you, from your perspective, what's been going on there?
Yeah. No, I'm in as many of the ones that I can be on. And I mean, it's just kind of what we've just been talking about, watching the evolution of the Western group the Eastern group getting involved. watching other players emerge. I think there's some people that just have more stronger, or I guess more dominant personalities, and so they have been maybe speaking more or kind of like trying to steer things. And there's been like this huge cohort of people that are just kind of logged into a lot of these calls and just listening and watching. And then watching some of these smaller players that maybe had been, you know, not actively involved with a voice on these calls kind of start to emerge and play like more leading roles or contribute really great ideas has also been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, we'd like to thank you guys for coming on this weekend with us. I mean, it's been fun partying with you, but you've also provided great updates as well. So it's been a good kind of mix and balance. And so, yeah, it's been a good weekend. And, you know, looking forward, give us a final thoughts, if you could, please, for what you guys see in the coming couple weeks now with the latest information.
Well, you know, I've been trying to catch back up on all of the EOS Go that I've missed over this while here. And I saw Thomas Cox make his 48-hour prediction probably not much more than 20 hours ago or so.
He actually lowered it to 36 yesterday. So
30. Did he? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the over.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Once the snowball starts to roll, it's going to go fast, I think.
Okay.
You know, I think we're going to blow through 15%. It's not going to be a struggle, I don't think, to get to 15%. We had 98.5 correctly registered percent tokens, right? I think that's the last number from EOS Authority.
I've heard 99 point something now.
Yeah, if we add in the failover cases, I think it gets us down to 0.1 or 0.3% unregistered. Wow. So 1/3%, which is extraordinary. I think it's going to go nuts, right? We're afraid of like going too fast. I think once we're ready and we say okay, and we have enough of the people who feel comfortable, because that's part of it too. It's so decentralized. It's like, who gets to say what all the different parts require in terms of validation and testing? You know, and it's hard. It's hard to decide those things. So we're just sort of moving forward as a flock of birds or whatever, trying to, you know, work it all out as the whole tribe moves forward. And, you know, once we're ready and we open it up, I think the votes are going to pour in, and we're going to blast through any kind of early suggestions about low voter turnout. I think it's going to be high.
Wow. Okay. And you just have that feeling because of the registration numbers and
no, it's just an intuition based on everything I know about EOS and everything I've seen. I have a hard time finding the data points that I'm chunking for that, but my intuition is that it's going to go nuts.
Okay.
It's going to go nuts. You know, we'll see. I think I'm starting to get calls from my technical associates in other things, in video games and stuff. People calling me up going, what's going on? You know, when I talk to them and I talk to them about what EOS can do, that this is something that they're ready for. They just don't know it exists yet, a lot of them. So you can build real things on this, and it's the first one. And so, you know, you've got an incredible number of speculative things in crypto. It's all just pure speculation and a couple of use cases. You can buy a couple of things with Bitcoin, and Ethereum is an ICO platform. And beyond that, there really isn't much. You've got Steven and BitShares, some like specialized blockchains, but there is no enterprise grade system for this. And EOS will be the first. So it's coming, you know, I just don't know when.
Yeah, my over and under, I definitely think that it's going to be over the original Thomas Cox prediction of 40 hours. But I'm an idealist at heart, for sure. I think my experience as a physician and getting to really kind of see people from that respect, and also having lived in Asia for a while and seen the East-West interactions, when this process started, like the last couple of days, you know, June 1st, June 2nd, I was convinced that this was going to take way longer than what people were expecting. Like I thought like a couple weeks. And then watching everything come together, definitely like even as of this morning, I'm convinced that this is going to go a lot faster than I originally thought. Like maybe, however long it takes the validation and like kind of the testing to happen, which I think is going to be like another 2-3 days. But I think once we get past that step, the way everyone's working together, I agree with Craig. I think the voting thing, we're just going to fly through that.
I think, especially I believe we when we thought about the timeline, we didn't know what to expect. So it could be, we thought maybe these 3-4 days, 5 days, but we also knew that it could take longer as well too. So obviously there's the when moon people who just want to see the token moon, right? And then on the other part, you want to see engineers build this thing out to be the best that it can be. So
yeah. We're all aligned, all on the same team too in that regard. We want the best. We also want the moon, and there we go. Everybody wins. So
yeah, so far there's no like moles from other. I mean, maybe there's moles, but there's no active anarchists from other chains coming in here and trying to booby trap it. Everyone wants the same thing. We want a clean launch and a secure chain, and everybody's aligned on that. Everybody's got skin in the game, and so. That's good. That unites us, and that's one of the reasons why this has been a really special privilege to be a part of this historic event.
Got that right. And I see your suitcase collection in the background has grown, Craig. So we'll be seeing you in a couple days.
It looks like so. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Think so? Okay.
I don't think it's moved from that chair since the last time you guys saw him. I think it's
yeah. When I went to Consensus, my suitcase was broken, and that's my new one. I'll be packing it the morning of, probably. I'll be stuffing it as I'm running out the door. There's a lot to do. This is really hard. This is hard stuff. So,
and it's really hard for a lot of people all at once.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. All the individual jobs are hard, and then it's hard to work with massive groups of people trying to do this. If there were 5 groups, it'd be easy, a lot easier anyway. But working with whatever 50, 100, it's really crazy. Hasn't been a blockchain that was so big before it actually stood up. It's a new idea, and with such the DPoS system, it's not like just sending out a piece of software that people run on their GPU. This is a whole different animal.
This is a lot like doing heart surgery on someone. And honestly, when you're doing heart surgery, I don't do heart surgery, but you're dealing with someone who's alive, and the heart has to be running all the time. And so there's so much that goes into keeping that person alive while you're operating on a vital organ. You have to use machines to pump blood through that person's body while you're operating on their heart. And that's kind of what this thing is. I mean, there's billions of dollars invested into this project, and we are trying to test on it and work on it and fix it, and we're trying to keep the heart going while we do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And for those viewers who aren't familiar, Shah actually is a physician. You're a doctor, just not a heart surgeon.
Just not a heart surgeon. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So he actually does know a little bit about what he's talking about when it comes to the heart. Not just some random guy. But yeah, I mean, before you guys go, you know what? Let's do one last disco. Are you guys down?
Sure.
All right.
Hit it, Bluejays.
Oh, just still going.
Powerful disco.
Yeah. Thank you guys as always. It's been an amazing weekend. We'll see you guys in a couple days, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. Thanks for running these things, man. This has been amazing. Yeah, we know it's been long days and every day in for you guys. So thanks for putting all this effort in. It's been really, really helpful, I think.
And thank you guys for doing what you do.
Yeah, we thank you right back.
Honored to have you as part of the community.
Yeah.
Awesome. See you guys.
Bye. See you guys. Bye. Well, Bluejays. Yeah, so we're entering into our final thoughts here, Bluejays. What are your final thoughts?
So, Kevin, this was quite the event. We definitely see a lot of progress being made. We also have...
we have a surprise guest,
we have a surprise guest, George, it seems.
Hello. Hey, can you hear us? I'm not sure. George, welcome back. Hey, George.
Okay.
Oh, George. Okay. Well, anyway. So yeah, Blue Jays, go ahead. You're talking about we've had a long weekend, guys. We have something we need feedback on. We want to do a quick bit, and while we have Chinese translators right now, English to Chinese, courtesy of WTZ, and they're also streaming us over to the Chinese platform as well. So we want to make sure the whole world can sort of give us feedback on this. Go ahead, Blue Jays.
Yeah, so we want to know a little bit more about what you guys think the future of EOS Go should be. We've obviously been here since December and January of this year, also it's 6 months going. We've always tried to be the neutral, independent source of media information clearinghouse and provide a platform for everyone to not only present their information, but also in a neutral way. So we just kind of want to see what you guys think and take some feedback. I'm going to be placing a Telegram room we've never had one before, but this is we're going to try and have a room here where you guys can go in and join us, and we just want to get your feedback on where you think we should go as an organization and how do we continue to provide value. What should we do? Should we do an airdrop? Should we do a DAC? What should we do? We want to get your impressions and your feedback.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, so we have been a neutral community organization, right? We provided media and news, and we're trying to bring the community together. We have our forums currently where a lot of folks have posted the governance documents and collected to provide good, robust, quality discussion. So we have the forums. We have the block producer reports we put out to help the block producers get their information out, to help the community understand their block producer candidates a little better. And also, we have that block producer research site, bp.eosgo.io. So what I'm trying to say is we have all these tools right now, and that's kind of where we think we'd like to go going forward, provide more of those tools, but obviously in a more decentralized fashion on EOS, definitely. So we need feedback from you guys as to what you would like to see, right? What do you think would make the ecosystem stronger? Our statement, our mission statement, our action statement is empowering EOS first and always, and that's it, right? We're an independent organization, we're neutral, and our goal is to make sure that EOS grows as strong as possible. So as an independent media source, we think that we can be an important pillar of this community, aside from the block producer candidates who are elected and the voters and also the arbitrators. There needs to be a strong independent media source that provides information for the community, kind of a front page resource that everybody can trust and come together on and provide education for, and also find a way to contribute to the EOS ecosystem. So folks who are maybe not as technically inclined can jump in and they can provide videos or information or education, and they can be rewarded for it. That is something we've been thinking about. We need more feedback. You can join the Telegram channel, as Blue Jays just said. What else do you have there, Blue Jays?
Right, and so whatever you guys decide, we're fully willing to build out tools, applications, DApps, anything that will help enforce and also enable to do what we've been doing, but on a better, larger scale. For example, voting, maybe we can help you guys decide who the best BPs are, or how to provide information, how to curate and how to moderate information as well too. So EOS Go is dedicated to that, and empowering EOS first and always. We are that's what it says. We are here for everybody, and we're here for EOS.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything you think we can do better or you'd like to see, let us know. And we are looking for a way to reward folks. So I guess the other question is, should we airdrop? Should we do a token and offer something to people where they can then reward quality curated content for EOS, or maybe elect folks who can curate good content for EOS, neutral content, as we mentioned, that will empower EOS first and always and before anything else. So what do you guys want to see? I mean, how does that work? That's mainly what we need feedback on. Either email us, admin@eosgo.io, join the Telegram chat that Blue Jays is posting up, or furthermore, you can reach out to us personally if you'd like, or give us feedback on these shows. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in, right? We have another show later today, and it will be the final one of the whole launch weekend. It will be our 7th show in 5 days. I think we've streamed, 40 hours or so this weekend, at least?
Sure feels like it, yeah.
Feels like it? Yeah. I mean, we've talked to 50-plus teams and over maybe 100 individuals or more from around the world. It's been a phenomenal weekend. Bluejays, what are your final thoughts?
I see some questions about the Telegram room, so I'll get it set up properly, and then you guys should be able to join. So again, if somebody can repost the Telegram, I'll repost it again. There it is. It should be up very soon. Thanks everyone, and appreciate it. And go EOS.
Go EOS, guys. We'll see you later.